Probably wondering, why am I streaming right now of all times, right? I probably shouldn't even be streaming right now either. But I'm doing this because I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream later. It depends on what today's day is. Either way, I'm going to try to get this out before the evening starts. So, what's up everybody? My name's Crytek and Mom. Welcome back to some more Genshin Impact. We're going to try to tackle this FARUZAN Hangout event on a very interesting time of day, literally being like, yeah, this is kind of weird. It's like, I don't know how long this stream's gonna be. What makes things worse is that I feel like I shouldn't be streaming right now, but I usually would have a recorded episode come out in like an hour from now or so, but I chose to, I think I'm going to upload the recorded episode later in the day so that I can do this. 'Cause I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tonight. So that's why I'm streaming right now. The only reason why I'm streaming right now is 'cause I don't know if I'll be able to stream later tonight. What the heck? Okay, let's do this real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Delete this. Oh yeah. Isn't it kind of nice to know that tomorrow is going to be my 1 year since I started playing Genshin? I have to do that. That is one of the reasons why I can't stream later tonight, because I actually need to, I need to actually stream that, not stream that. I need to record that going forward, which is going to be interesting. 1 year, not 1 year, my second year of me playing Genshin Impact is coming up tomorrow, which is pretty cool. Be my second year of me playing Genshin moving forward. And I have to do my good old account showcase and show off the differences of what happened in my past up till now. So I'm gonna have a compilation of shorts, of sorts, showing things off, and then showing the footage the way I haven't, or the way I'm gonna show it for now. I don't know. Alright, so nothing really much else happened since the last time I played, I think. No, I think I actually have one double crit artifact I need to roll, but yeah. I think I changed, I didn't think I did this on stream. I changed this build, the Dragon's Bane. Yeah, so I'm gonna forever keep this on him now, which is quite nice. Even though I want a crit rate circler from Arcade Petronil. Yeah, I figured this would be ready today. Alright, let's go over here real quick. I grabbed my other stuff. I know I have 5 condensed, so I have 1 refresh, 5, oh, yeah, 5 condensed already ready. We're gonna try to clock out this hangout event today. Feels kind of nice streaming at this time of day. Usually I wouldn't do this though, because I usually am doing stuff during the beginning of the day, which is going to happen again at some point, maybe next week, maybe this weekend, which is again another reason why I don't know if I will be able to do this again. But I want to take advantage of this while I can. Boom. Amber is so close to level 10 on friendship. I haven't even eaten yet. I think I like woke up like 2 hours ago. Oh, don't do that. Anything else happen in here? Oh, yeah. Nothing really much happened. Alright. Trying to remember if there's anything else, but I remembered that I don't think I did it till next week on Monday. So I'm not doing that. I still can't wait to show the account showcase for tomorrow. Like the differences of what happened last year. The way I had edited the clips, which I did that last night. Because I had to see what I showed. And very specifically, I can't get over the fact that there were some things that could have been different actually if I had showed more of it, but it was just the usual. I'm gonna show the artifacts, the characters, the amount of weapons I summoned for, and yeah, I find that very unfortunate to be honest. Okay, it's this one. Just hit 80 resin, nice. I got one refresh, so that's gonna bring me to 3 more condensed I can make. It's a shame if I would have waited till tonight, cause actually my resin have been almost maxed by the night, but knowing when I actually do stream, yeah, I don't know about that. I usually end up streaming around 12 o'clock, but I've had more time than I usually do, so I want to take advantage of what I can do. So I got so much stuff done from my recorded playthrough, which I'm still, well, I've edited so many videos. I've never done this before. Like I feel more motivated to just keep doing it, just because I never did this with like past playthroughs. Cause usually I take my time with it. Usually I would take like 1 to 2 days apart from each episode, but now I'm uploading it like every day from Monday to Saturday. And I find that very remarkable that I've been able to go at it this long and it not really bother me too much. I'm so far ahead. I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest. Don't. I'll do this one. Where's it at? Over there. Now I'm wondering what domain. I'm probably gonna still keep farming, go to June until I max it out. Oh yeah, there was something else I just remembered that I did off screen. I can't unsee it because I wanted to see how I would build it, but since I don't have a build that would require me to actually use the Thundering Fury set, I do have a really cool build that the next character I'll upgrade to max friendship after I go back to Ningguang, which ooh, she's gonna be level 9 at some point. Where's Amber at actually? Ooh, she is so close. She is so close. Um, where is Hizu? Not too far behind Amber. Now the person we're gonna talk about, Razor. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put him in the Trinity at some point, so I can work on him. I had built him and tried a build that I can't unsee. It was pretty fun to do. And everyone usually calls it Thundering Fury. Yeah, Thundering Fury because of the artifact set that you would use, but I'm not using it. I'm just using Gilded Dreams because that's all I have. And I wanted to see if it could help me clear the Crimson Witch domain, and it actually clears it really fast. Well, not super fast, but faster than the teams I would usually use in it that would either make it easier to clear or whatnot, which kind of surprised me. I'm like actually really surprised by it. It clears it faster than like all my other slow clears. Even though it's still kind of a slow clear itself, it's still much faster than like anything I've ever done usually.
Order guide you. Gather.
No, my sword.
Yeah. Solidify.
this one. I wonder what's gonna happen after I like max out everyone's friendship. I feel like I'm just gonna end up playing like Ganyu or David and Overwood a lot. I've been asking myself that, but I always feel motivated just to do this. Because the collection side of me just kind of wants to do it. And as I get new 4-stars, things will change, and of course 5-stars as well, but I don't know what next time I'm gonna summon is gonna be. I know I'm skipping the rest of this patch, I'm skipping the rest of the patch after that. So it's like, in terms of what I'm expecting to get, I don't really see it.
Gather. Regret. Law of the jungle.
Here comes the catch. Gotcha. Rain outlines your...
Stabilize.
He's still alive.
Busted.
Cool.
Huh?
I don't really gotta be nighttime when I go over here. I think it's daytime. Alright. So, let's do this. Did I just see a... Was it a bird that died in the water? Like, now there's just a chicken leg floating above the water? So I gotta give something somewhere, or is it just a... Okay.
These are the only things that still need recording.
Do you need help with anything?
Need to drink water, because my throat's still dry. Do that. I'm gonna go through here.
Take it easy. Add Ash. Thank you for
Alright, let's do Artifact now. Next week is probably gonna be the last week that I can farm this domain for, and then I'm gonna take a break from it and come back to it. Just because I want to be able to focus on other character friendship, and of course, have any excuse to actually do the Crimson Witch domain. It's just up that pretty soon I might start farming the Blessed Domain, just because I really need an excuse to go back there too, even though I don't want the physical set. But I'm willing to go back and try that domain. I barely tried it when I first started. So it'd be a new domain technically for me farming it. It should be cool.
Solidify!
Let me weave you a verse. Game's up. It's over.
You are not welcome here.
Quietly now.
Will meet again.
Oh. What? How do I not have their ult back? Fuck me. Fuck me, dude. Please no more of the flowers. I don't need it. Like, unless I'm getting a very specifically good piece I wouldn't mind having. Other than that, I don't need it. What I need is, I need a feather still. Like, I had a good one the last time we farmed the domain. But, like, I need something better than that. Because of subsets and whatnot. I probably should not have done this, but hey, be out here. Now I have to do something different this time around. Guess we'll have to use Hutel's ult.
You are not welcome here.
Rain cutter.
Never mind.
Here comes the catch. Gotcha. Shot's over.
Will
Why? It's so frustrating, bro. Why do I just not have their ultimate? Or, you know, whatever. I find that weird. Good cup? Somewhere? I actually don't want to raise this. Like, I'm so tired of Hydro damage bonus at this point. I don't need another good one. I only have 3 Hydro characters I use right now, which will change to 4 when I get the Hydro Archon. But will there be any more? I don't know. I can't even guarantee that. Like, I actually can't.
solidify.
Oh my soul! Well, witness the power. Things are about to get dicey. I'm getting patience.
Will again. Regret.
I forced myself to get that back up, bro. Alright. Round number 3, baby. It'd be nice to get a Pyro Goblet from either set, but Denja's what I want, or a Crit Circle from Denja. No. It'd be nice to get a good Deepwood Circlet, create crit damage, because I still don't have a good one. Or actually give me, like, actually I don't know if I want that. I'm gonna say give me a good EM circuit like the one I have for Crimson Woods, but I don't really want that. I feel like
Stabilize. You
Ray
are not
outlines your
welcome.
fate. Let... Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Now you're testing me.
Well, that was the first one as well. I mean, it's a chance, I guess. Why do I keep getting flowers now? Like, this is a bit insulting. I keep getting double crit flowers when I wish it was our Crimson Witch of Flames. Which I find strange that that domain won't give me a good flower. But this domain is giving me, like, doesn't matter which set. I think I've already gotten a total of 7 double crit flowers. And 3 of them were double crit line. So far, this domain.
Solidify.
Rain cutter. Game's up. Time's over.
You are not welcome here.
I'm getting sick of this game.
Alright, last of this run. Boom. Boom. Still no Pyro Goblet double crit. You know, today technically the last day before I can have a chance at that. It makes me a bit sad the more I think about it. Jesus Christ. It's actually a bit unfucking canny how I went. My first year getting a double crit Pyro Goblet, which that was my first 5-star artifact from a weekly boss. Or was it yeah, I think it was the first week I started farming it. And I got it from the wolf boss of Mondstadt, Wolf of the North. I'll never forget the boss that gave me it, because ever since then, I've always wanted to improve D-Luke, because he was the only character I had with a goblet like that. Which I think, is Hutel using it? I think Hutel's using it. I think she's using it now. Yeah. She's using my one and only double crit Pyro Goblet. I really hope I can get another one this year. Like, I wanted to improve certain things. I wish they were kind of weird, but looking back at my little 1 year video, I feel like I made a few oopsies. One of them is definitely having the music too damn loud over my voice. But back then, I think that was when I used to have the cord in my microphone, so my voice wouldn't sound half as loud as it actually is. Which is hilarious. It's so tempting to do another refresh. I can get 2 more condensed resin runs, but I'm not gonna do it. I'll save those extra condensed for next day, so we can hurry up and start the hangout event. Could have started streaming like an hour ago, but I chose not to. Just so I could wake up. I think to reach to the second half of the patch, and you know, it still makes me sad knowing that I'm not gonna get that claymore. I still can't let that go, because I really wanted that claymore, because there's a good chance it's not coming back. Some people say that's not worth it, but like, as of right now, that crit rate claymore, that's Sovidia's weapon, is the best claymore that is a 5-star weapon in the entire game right now. And I can't get it. The game keeps giving me the polearm. Which that's not even the part that I'm sad about. It's just the fact that I wish I could have gotten a different weapon than getting that polearm toys, because I don't know what to do with it.
Witness the power. Here comes the
You
cat.
are not welcome here.
Quietly now. No, my sword. Huh?
Alright. Get the last 3 runs in that we can get in today. See if we can... You have got to be fucking joking. Oh my god. It's always Geo, it's always Hydro, it's always Electro. Why is it always those, and then Cryo rears its head whenever I don't really want to see it? With Cryo, I don't see that much either. But when it comes to double crit artifacts for a Goblet, the ones I see the most is always Geo, always Hydro, and always Electro. I I find that very, very annoying at this point. I'm getting like annoyed when I see the Goblet just look like that. And then I see Pyro once in a blue moon. I don't understand that either. I just really hope I can get through this, unfortunate luck chain one day. The same with the gene curse I have.
Take it easy.
Solidify.
Rain cutter. Things are about to get dicey.
You are not welcome here.
Rain outlines your...
Could have cleared that faster, but for whatever reason, when I get applied with Cryo, even though the crowd not applied on Huto, she just gets slowed, and I fucking don't understand that, because it feels really bad when I do a dash cancel really fast. A lot of pieces I can try for the first substep, but do I really want to? I have enough good Deepwood flowers for me to not care right now. I have enough good... There's only but so many I don't have. Like, if I get a 10-20 piece for, Gilded Dreams flower, then I'm not even gonna try other ones in the future unless it's Forlorn. That's how much I don't care about it.
Let me leave you a bird.
Welcome here.
It feels good to crit with Hotel. Having 70 crit rate feels so good on her so far. My build's really good with Sapphire Homo too, which is stupid. It's just I prefer my other build more because it does more damage. Okay, I'll try it. I have absolutely zero hope on this piece because I swear to God, have I gotten one? Actually, no. No, I am 100% certain. I have yet to get a 3-lined crit to turn double crit on an EM Sands. I have never had that happen to me in my account since, I guess, the beginning of the region. For when I kept farming the strong bucks with the pyro set. It still sucks that I still have yet to get a good flower from that set though. It kind of hurts. Like I can't even let that go. It just hurts. Okay. What pieces were there that were remarkable to try? Oh yeah, the EM. The EM sound that I really want to have double crit, which would be nice to have. Wait, this is max roll? Oh my god. Well, there's only one thing it can do. Either go really, really horrible, or it's gonna be really amazing. Well, let's see how it rolls. Sad face. How does that happen? Oh my god. It always goes horrible when it's a max roll subset. I have yet to get a single good one like that. Anything else here? I guess I'll try it. I feel like I shouldn't even try these, but I'm gonna do it anyways. It'd be good to have these +4s in the future. Good to have them as artifact fodder. Whoa, this is a first in a long time. Holy shit. Okay. This is the second time I've gotten a double crit to drop in the same day. I'll use this one. I had a feeling. I had a feeling it was gonna go bad. What is happening? Okay, let's try this one then. Oh wait, this is actually not bad. Hold up. Hold up. Go into EM one more time and this piece is perfect. Go into this one more time and this piece is perfect. Please go into EM one more time. I'm begging you, please go into EM one more time. Yes! Oh my god, it's 70! Oh my god, hold on. Hold on. Where's the heat at? Dude, it's literally the exact same piece. That is guts here. The difference is one has energy recharge, one does not. This is such a good piece. Holy shit. Yayo's gonna want that more. Yayo's gonna want that more. That's awesome. I got that. So it's not that far off for this piece, but this piece is still better because it has energy recharge on it. Okay. That's awesome. Hutao is giving me this luck today, so I'm saying back on her. But I'm just amazed. Dude, what is happening today? I have not had this happen in like a long ass time. Like I'm actually not joking, like a long ass time. Like what is this one gonna do? Okay. I have never had double crit drop as often as it did today. Oh yeah, the healing bonus circle. Are there any other efforts I want to toss? I feel like I'm just gonna have to try that another day. I guess I'll try it. I don't wanna, but I guess I'll try it. Good. Now for the other two of these double crits. Why couldn't this have at least rolled crit rate? Because it's not even worth me keeping. Because if I had EM instead of that energy recharge, it probably would be better on this set. I can't even force myself to use it. Fuck. If this was freaking Noblesse, I'd keep it. I wish this was Noblesse. I'm so upset. Oh, I wish this was Noblesse. Why? Like, the only way I keep a piece like this if it was, like, split between energy recharge and EM. Cause then I could find a use for it, but, like, again, this said either I want crit rate and energy recharge, or EM and energy recharge, crit rate and EM. I don't know. I don't have a use for it. Even though it makes me sad getting rid of that, because I want to see if it hits 30 energy recharge. It's so tempting, actually. Part of me wants to see what artifacts I can toss. I've gotten rid of so many plus 20 that now I'm back to square one on certain things. My hotel is probably going to stay like this, so I don't know when I'll ever go back to this, but I feel like I have to hold on to this until I get a better piece. This one I can't toss. Oh yeah, I did a lot of testing on hotel, and the build that I have her on requires this, because I've learned something after testing her. That because of the EM weapon I'm using, HP substats are better generally than just having EM. Whereas the staff at home, I'd rather have EM subsets with a little bit of HP on the side, but more EM subsets with a crit weapon. I find that very interesting. I'm gonna quickly look at everything, see if there's anything I can toss. That piece is still good, that piece is nice. Oh, EM, EM, EM. I need one for a flower. I need a really good EM feather from Deep One. Can't make an excuse to keep that, and I still don't think I should. I just have a good enough build to run this, but I don't know if I want to even hold on to that. I hate holding on to this. This piece is so good for like other reactions rather than the set that it dropped in. I keep trying to make an excuse to get rid of that, and I just can't. Oh yeah, I'm stuck with that feather on Hotel. It sucks because I thought I could use this piece, but I can't use this piece unless I get a better flower and or better sands. Not better sands, better goblet. Yeah, it's pretty sad because I just don't have a good rounded build with it. This one, I want to use this on D-Look, and I could use it on D-Look if I get a good EM Sands. This one I've been thinking about tossing because it's just not as good as this piece. But it's hard for me to let go of it because my highest crit damage feather on that set. Yeah, I just don't know what to do with certain artifacts right now. I have so many good pieces that I'm at a point where I'm just gonna have to raise an artifact if I... Oh, right. Alright. It's something that this had crit instead of crit damage, I would have actually kept this. Like if this said crit rate instead of crit damage, this would have been more valuable. Part of me wants to toss it, but until I build Yayo, I don't want to get rid of that yet. That's a piece I was gonna toss, and now I don't know if I want to. I thought I would use this on Hotel, but I'm getting more inclined to get rid of it. Gotta wait till Ito for that piece. Jean used to have that piece on, but I guess not anymore. Can I change it to her? Oh yeah, I have this one. Do I want to do that? It's such that I still want to get rid of this piece. That energy recharge sands is so bad. Let's check out goblets. If I ever decide to raise Toma, I still have this. Piece is pretty good. This one is for Kokomi if I ever, well, if I ever get her during the year. I have that, Electro. Okay, I still have those. Oh yeah, I remember why I kept that. It's such that I have a reason to still keep this. It's actually annoying though. This, on the other hand, I have more of a thought of just getting rid of it. I don't have a use for an EM goblet now. Hydro, EM again, which this is a piece I'm actually going to toss. Or should this be a piece I should keep compared to the other one? I should keep it compared to that one. There's just EM goblets I don't use. Oh, I forgot I had this. What the hell? I thought wait, no, it was the HP one I'm thinking about that I got rid of. Wow, no one's using that. I really hope we can get Kutching this year if I lose a 50-50. Just so I can have an excuse to use this. I'm really not going to use this on anybody unless I get like a God tier energy recharge sands from Emblem. Which I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to farm that domain. Attack Goblet for Shen, huh? God, I realize I want 4-piece Noblesse if I want to use her. This piece is arguably really horrible, but it's alright. Piece is okay for what it's worth. Anything with energy recharge from this set's really nice. I couldn't help myself but keep this. I still think I might use it in the future, but very rarely would I ever expect that. I hope I get a chance to use this one. Can't get rid of that, can't get rid of that. I actually... God damn it, I don't want to get rid of it. It's still tempting to get rid of, but I just can't. I can't bring myself to get rid of that. It sucks. I don't have anything I can get rid of. This one dies. Does the job. Alright. Oh yeah, I kept this. I think this piece is pretty bad though. Like if it gave me one more EM roll, then I'd probably have an excuse to keep it, but I just can't. Kept those for her just to see if anything different happens. I do need to get rid of this one day. This might be used in the future, cause yeah. Hmm. I guess for what it's worth, there's just nothing else to get rid of. Oh yeah. I might not ever go back to this because I found my best builds have this in it no matter what. It does yield better damage, but I always end up with like just enough crit rate that it's not too bad, but it's still not the greatest. But it's, I mean, I can still run it. I've been getting more inclined to get rid of that, but getting a good attack circlet is just rare, and I'd rather keep that. I don't know if I can call this one a good attack circlet though. Hmm. There's just nothing else I can really get rid of. And it makes me sad because, like, now if I end up getting an artifact from the domain and farming it, I won't have enough to level it up if it ends up not rolling very well, or if it rolls well, I mean. Which I guess it is what it is. At least we got something out of the domain today. There's just certain things I wish that didn't feel so unfortunate to get, but at least I got a piece like this, because I want another piece like that, but I wish it was a feather. I do kind of want another Gilded Dreams flower. I could use another one. There's not really much else I can get rid of over here either. I mean, there's this one, which I'm gonna argue to get rid of because I just can't bring myself to keep it. Then there's this piece, which I have never found a use for this yet. I've made excuses in the past to want to use it, but I just have this feeling I'm never gonna use it. Like, no matter what I do. Even though a part of me still wants to keep it. Fuck me. But I guess that's it for now. There's just so many pieces I wish I could get rid of, but like, because now I know that there's a character that can use Lava Walker if I ever get her. I have that. But yeah, that's enough of that. Okay. 5 endings. We're gonna start this now. Gotta do it normal the first time around. This is gonna be fun just because we get to meet a character that I feel like didn't have a baseline in the game at all. I feel like her hangout event should have came out the past that we had Wander's, interlude Archon quest. Because she was just a new forest type that doesn't stand out. At least Layla, who released, got, like, put in the fungi Pokemon event, which
One
was cool.
client, two clients, three clients.
So we're gonna play it out normally and then go for other endings.
What a bummer.
Why is it raining over here? It's so depressing.
Even though most of the academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble.
Why is just a wild Tainari here?
I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find out why she isn't here yet?
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust. Are you not feeling well?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her, I think I need to mentally prepare myself first.
Why?
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you...
In a predicament, I see. This is a weird way to start a hangout event. It makes me think this is just a story quest.
Oh, hey there!
Ah, it's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City.
What made you think I have... Oh, shut up. Shut up.
Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
you happen to know about this situation? There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for the task.
Research banned.
It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives.
This is making it sound more inclined that this should have been a story quest.
You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is FARUZAN, and she's a very experienced senior researcher. Let's just say that a huge part of Kasharawar's mechanical research over the past 100 years have used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation. She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago. Because of that, her current personality can be a bit strange, as is her attitude towards Kale.
What, she doesn't like that she's cute or something?
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
Oof.
I'll try.
Do we really have to invite her here?
Yes, Kasharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced, so I can't trust them with this matter. However, FARUZAN isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, she indicated that she'd be willing to help. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up.
Did she get caught by the academia?
I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got wrapped up in some sort of trouble. Anyway, can you go with Kale to the academia and check on FARUZAN for me?
Alright.
Thank goodness. I was so anxious.
I'm counting on you too. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If FARUZAN really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. We can always reschedule our meeting. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right, let's go.
Oh, yes, and one more thing. You might find her difficult to get along with at first.
Aha!
If you address her as Madam, she'll become much easier to talk to.
Cringe. Okay, whatever. I thought it was funny. Seriously though, I do still think that this hangout event should have came out when she released, because it would have made more sense. Waiting till now to release this. Ugh. Horrible smelling right now. Ugh.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure, hearing goes with age.
You know, that's like the worst thing that she can say. It's just weird to me. I always found it weird that she talks about her age, but technically she never aged. So technically, she's not even over 100 years old. Technically, she's still the same age as what she once was. Her mental age is old as hell.
FARUZAN, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Yes. And did you forget to add madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your
Bruh.
hearing is perfectly fine. Madam FARUZAN, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind the students, even other advisors are starting to complain.
And who, if I may ask, complain? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time.
She's not wrong. Damn.
You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But Madam FARUZAN, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution yourself.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible.
Uh-huh.
The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge itself. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of complaint right this instant.
Wait! Madam FARUZAN, please let me finish.
That's her, alright. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra.
She looks so young.
Shh! She hates it when people call her young!
Huh? What? That's like, what? What? I did not expect that. What's so bad about that? What? It's not like I'm calling you a baby. Like, what? What does that mean? What does that mean? What is so bad about being called young when you're mentally old? What's so bad about that? I could have said people baby you or something. I don't. I legitimately don't understand that.
Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago.
That makes no sense though. Like, I remember the whole story behind it because of the voice actors explaining what her past was, but you know, this hangout event didn't exist in the patch that she released in, so we didn't get to learn about that.
Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go!
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Ksharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested. Madam FARUZAN? Are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the academia? Are you feeling better now?
Aw. What is with this face that she's making?
I'm much better, Madam Farzan. It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon.
Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again?
Why you gotta call him a brat? What?
No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not Master's fault.
It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him. I'll also prepare some health supplements for you.
There's really no need.
Ah, and is the person beside you the legendary traveler?
Huh? How do you know who I am? Is it because of Kale? It has to be because of Kale.
Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now. It is thanks to you, after all, that the academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even Kale's illness is...
Ahem. Madam FARUZAN, I believe we were still discussing the collaboration with Akara Crafts.
Now she butts in, right? She had her chance to say something, but she waited till then to say something.
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
I wonder what field of research she even does
If
know.
you're this unwilling to participate in the collaborative project, you can also consider teaching a class. It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and students who have been complaining.
This sounds like the internal academia dispute. This seems to have to do nothing with Tanari's request. This has to be what Tanari talked about, though, where he said, like, the academia are, like, butting heads with the whole situation with Faruzan. So they don't even know what to truly do with her. I remember Tanari said something along those lines, so this has to be that dispute that, Tanari mentioned.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry, but given the current situation, it looks like I'll have to come over some other day.
Kali seems like she wants to say something. Please give me a moment with Kali.
Of course. I shall need some time to think as well.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Pardees, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache.
Let's help her resolve her current problem first. I feel like if I'm the traveler, this would be my answer.
Yeah,
Let's
that
resolve her
would be
current
best for them
problem.
both. I'll check with Master later and see if there's anything I can help him with. But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial lessons.
I can stay and help Faruzan.
Oh yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quickly, and then she can go see Master. So if I also stay and help... that still sounds kinda scary.
Oh, you don't have to force yourself. Let's just observe the situation
Okay, then.
first.
I'm counting on you.
Okay.
I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
Uh-huh.
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The
Yeah,
Traveler said that he can stay and help you.
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were the one who taught Azar a lesson after all. That said, will I be troubling you?
Oh, she's talking about the old Grand Sage, yes, that guy. I forgot his name was even Azar. Man got slapped.
Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kasharawar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them.
She doesn't like the Haravatat thing. She didn't say that she liked the Haravatat. I'm curious about the collaborative project. But she doesn't want to help either, which makes this kind of confusing. Of like, how do I help her come to a conclusion? I feel like the Haravatat probably wouldn't take as much of her time as it would this one. Who knows how long this project's gonna take? I have a feeling she probably would enjoy this one if it ends up being something that interests her. Whereas the Haravata course, hmm, hmm. For some reason, I kind of want to go with the Kasarawa. I'm
I don't know
curious.
if Kainari's told you about this before, but while my research involves learning about ruins and the mechanisms within them, I don't belong to Kasharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms, nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
Oh, you don't belong in Kasarawa or Spartan, huh? He only said that you're a very senior researcher in the field of mechanisms. Hmm.
She has been invited to Kasharawar multiple times to continue her research, but she's rejected them each time.
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kasharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. There's no such thing as exclusivity in knowledge.
She's not
Besides,
wrong.
the current Kasharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of ruins. If they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to have me reconsider again...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Makara Crafts. The representative of Kasharawar recommended you to them, Madame FARUZAN. In truth, she told me that it's because she respects you a lot.
Oh, respect? Oh my. Putting aside my ideological differences with Kasharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. At the very least, they're bounds above those decrepit Haravatat fools.
Yeah, it sounds like she just doesn't like Haravata. That's why I didn't pick the answer. Because she, like, mentioned multiple times. Like, multiple times. She never talked dogs to the freaking Kasharawar at all. She didn't talk that good stuff to them as much as she has said to Haravata. She had mentioned multiple times now
Yeah,
that she just doesn't like
Kara
Haravata.
Crafts is a pretty nice shop.
Well, since both of you feel as such, I shall first hear this proposal.
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will cultivate curiosity and learning in children.
Early learning toys. Interesting.
The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent researchers in the future.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find some talented students in a few years.
Madame FARUZAN, you still haven't found any students?
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be
Anise,
staying in the inn
interesting.
at Port Ormos. If you want more details, you can find her there.
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I wonder how much it's changed.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should probably go back and report to Master, and then review today's homework.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii.
I'll take you there.
Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious researcher like myself to observe the legendary traveler up close.
I feel kind of weird about that. Because it sounds like she sounds a lot like, Nahida in that respect. Alright, let's go to Port Ormond, baby. So far, this hangout event feels like a story quest, though. Like, I know every hangout event's technically a story quest, but, like, so far, it seems like it has a good established story, is what I'm trying to say. Usually some hangout events has an established story, but very quirky between the halfway to the end of, like, each part. This one, it's like, it feels pretty established. Just like how the Noel hangout event is. Even though it was quirky in some parts, I think that one was like a really good example of what a hangout event should be. The first and second part.
Madame FARUZAN! Oh, it's really you.
It's really
Did
you.
Change your mind?
It's really you.
Alright, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still not all that interested in Kasharawar. I'm just here to see how the project is going. After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all research is at stake here, so I will not simply stand by should mistakes get made.
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated, which will drive production costs too far up.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable. Oh,
By any chance, has it been very difficult for you to get funding for your research?
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be. I guarantee it.
Interesting.
That's enough. I will not repeat myself. Take me to Akara Crafts owner first, if you please.
Interesting.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his toys. Let's just head over.
Madam FARUZAN. You know, it sucked that Nahida's mentioned her, but I've always wanted to see if FARUZAN even knows Nahida. I wouldn't be able to know unless I actually get her character from like the standard banner or something. Oh yeah, Akara Crafts. I remember this place now. This is that toy shop. We did this from like a event.
The one I recommended is here.
Oh, so
Yeah, this guy I think also voiced in that event too.
FARUZAN?
It was when we did the Aranara. Yeah, it was like crafting Aranara, I guess, toys or whatever. The statues. I remember I still have some I could put in my Cinetipe, but I haven't done it. Because I don't care,
that's
but
me.
yeah.
Ah, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration recently. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anise thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to Sumeru's children either.
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with either.
I remember that in your notes, many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
Oh, so that's why they want FARUZAN?
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them. But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper prototype.
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior researcher. We do have those. Yes, please, help yourself. Oh, you're done already?
Wait, so what is this? Oh. Is this because of the thing that she likes to create? She likes to create a pyramid. I don't know why.
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles.
Okay.
These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Is this like, again, the analogy of the pyramid?
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Okay.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by the standards of an early learning toy, I mean.
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move 1 ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
What the hell?
Pagoda stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anise that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same for this game?
It's such
Interesting.
a simple toy. There's no need to...
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
Just do it.
Huh? Okay, then.
Okay, then. Oh,
And
God.
that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in the smallest number of steps.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
Oh, no. Yeah, I kind of call it that a kid's gonna, like, be like, what is this?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
So they were lured by a promise of new cards. That's fucked up.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play cards.
Play cards.
Done. It took me 19 steps.
Wait, 19 steps from what?
It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules
Okay,
now.
chill out. Good
Let's
chill out.
increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
Oh. So they're trying to get from left to right, but this is so interesting. I wish I could like see an animation of what the game was actually supposed to be, because even I'm still confused by it.
Wait, there's more?
Well, yes,
Well,
making it
since
more
we're
complex of
already
a simple
here,
game.
Why don't we just give it a try?
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the faster one this time.
Ew.
Done. It took me 35 steps.
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Interesting.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total.
Of course, FARUZAN creates it like this. I'm still trying to understand what it is, because from what she explained, it still confuses me. I'm just like, I need to see, like, I actually need to see it so I get an understanding, because I'm a person that understands something from practice rather than just hearing it. It just makes it easier for me to remember things.
Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here.
But go to
Why don't you give this a go as well?
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Yes,
Madam FARUZAN, allow me to try it as well.
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles involved?
I think so.
If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
Ah, we don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, by the looks of things, you seem to have the game figured out.
I feel like I don't, but
Why
sure.
don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
I want to say it's this.
Oh, color me impressed. You figured it out so quickly.
Oh, did I actually get that right? I knew it was gonna probably be over 100, given like the amount of stacks it gives, but I can't even say that's like specific math though. I don't know.
Let's see how well they do then.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh, this is going to take more steps than I expected.
I need to see what this looks like.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken. Can I restart?
Bro, you really want to restart? You gonna find yourself getting stuck again.
This got a lot harder.
I solved it. Madam FARUZAN, it takes 127 steps in total.
Wow, I really just freaking guesstimated that. I knew it was gonna be like over 110 though. The only reason why I say that is because it seemed like every layer it increases by a certain amount, maybe plus 20, give or take, something like that. But I feel like that's not really a rough estimate because it's kind of weird how something so simple turns into something like this. It kind of reminds me of a game I played in elementary school, but it wasn't really elementary school like game. It was more like a class thing that we did, and we had like tapes, but we had to, of course, move it from one place to another. But the way it was that we had to do math problems in order to move them, and we couldn't move the ones that we wanted to move. It was, I guess you could say, it was similar to like one of those. I'm gonna say bingo, but I forgot like the actual name of the game. It was similar to one of those games that you would usually see on TV, where we couldn't really move which one we wanted to move. We had to answer which one we wanted to move and then move it. It was something similar to that. I forgot what the game was called.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
Yeah, something like that. Basically, that was what I was trying to say. That was what I got from observing it. But that it seems like every step that she added more steps to get towards a goal.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption-making techniques. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular.
Do you have any other toys?
Yeah, when can we play with them?
Interesting.
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference book?
Sounds like she got something going, didn't she?
Of course. I'd be honored.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which we can announce which toy we'll be making.
Should I come back in 2 days then?
You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions. The more, the merrier.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll walk back with you.
That was cute. I actually enjoyed that.
Is Madame FARUZAN really going to mentor me? What an honor. I'm sure she'll say helping with illustrations isn't mentoring. So, don't tell her I said that.
Uh-huh.
No wonder she's so well respected at the academia. When I first saw her, I thought she might be unreliable because she's so young.
Damn. You judged the book by its cover by a huge margin, my guy. If you even knew that she was older than you by, like, your existence, yeah, I think that's kind of fucked up.
Don't let her know I said that. Anise warned me about that before.
I wonder how angry she gets by calling her young, though. I still don't understand what's so bad about that, though. Like, I think she looks pretty cute, despite, you know, being young. Young looking. I don't know what's so bad about it.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Prodigy as quickly as I can.
What about the Kashara one?
You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join them, yes?
I'm actually very curious. I thought it was just because you weren't interested, simply put.
Putting aside
Now I'm
the fact
curious
that
that
they're too full
she's
of
willing to
themselves,
try.
I actually have no issue with their research methodologies and approach. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. superiority and inferiority do not come into the conversation. All researchers are just doing their best to shed light on the unknown in their respective fields of expertise. No matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on, it's a step forward for us all.
I'm curious.
Because I believe wholeheartedly in that principle. Even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain from it is accurate, it could become useful in the future. In the end, useful and useless are concepts that shouldn't be used to evaluate knowledge. When I first started deciphering ancient documents, I didn't think about how it'd be useful to Ksharawar. That's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in Haravatat. It's much more convenient for me to access the materials I need for my research here. Still, the funding that Ksharawar has offered me is so hard to get in Haravatat. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia.
Do you have any ideas?
Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anis's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference book's text and illustrations.
Try to be accurate and detailed. Try to keep it simple and fun. That's probably the best way I'd say it. 'Cause I don't think there's any reason to be super accurate about it. You could just make an advanced one and then a normal one. You know what I mean?
You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed it is. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. It'll also make it easier for me to recruit students in the long run. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
I didn't think I'd enjoy this so much. It's actually an interesting hangout event. It just comes off as interesting. Don't let 2 days pass. Then I'm gonna bring it to daytime 'cause I don't want it to be nighttime. Okay, let me stop. Head to the conference. Should be up there. Imagine sitting here in place for 2 days. Oh, Madam FARUZAN, what?
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite the event.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the academia shall say about it this time.
Grand lively event goes underway.
And if we activate this little mechanism just like that, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cane.
Oh, I see.
I thought it came out of thin air. It's amazing.
If the mechanism
if
was
it's a
bigger,
mechanism.
you could make a rabbit appear, right?
I mean, theoretically, you can make anything appear, but we don't talk about that.
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Not bad.
I'm guessing this world never had a cat in a hat. Wait a minute. I'm just kidding. But like the whole concept of just bringing ammo out of a hat like a magic trick.
Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that make up a mechanism.
These are pretty cool. I'm tempted to try them out.
I'm not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for children's development...
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event. I'll give it a go.
But we want to play too.
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials. All feedback is also welcomed.
The lively event continues.
Oh, my origami bird flew further this time.
Professor FARUZAN, how can I make mine fly further?
Ahem. Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may indeed get the chance to call me Professor.
Whoa.
You may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example. All right. Try it again.
Wow! It really did fly farther!
Madam FARUZAN, will we learn origami at the Academia?
Well, she'll probably try to make it
Of course
possible.
you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like to your heart's content. In the future, if you want, you can even become one of my students.
She really wants that.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the Academia. Wait, was it 7? Which Darshan teaches about mechanisms in origami?
Isn't there like several that teach mechanisms, but specific fields of mechanisms?
It wouldn't be Haravatat.
Yeah, I wonder about this now. What would Farzan even claim this to be? Because it's weird that what she had explained is that there's different, subsections of mechanisms that are explored from research. I find that very weird though.
I know.
But it kind of makes sense.
Huh? I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami birds.
Farzan, what do you say to this?
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms!
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children.
Looks like these early learning tours are a success. However, it looks like recruiting students might be an issue.
How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to learn about the things we do like?
You're making me sad, stop it.
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat, but I research mechanisms. See? The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
I mean, we can simplify if we have to.
Huh. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Now, do you want to learn about some other machines? Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanisms and elemental monuments.
Chill? Oh, okay, that's cute. I wonder what thumbnail I'm gonna use for this time around. So that's the first ending. How convenient that this is that ending. I wonder what other stuff we will get next.
Wanna come over for tea?
Maybe another time. Oh, wait. Yeet. Now. Ooh. I think I know which one is the Haravatat. I don't know what the bottom one is. But now I gotta go skip like a madman. I don't know what the third option would be. I guess I have to really pay attention to it. I do know one of them I'm gonna pick is Haravatat this time and see what she does with it. I want to see what the spin of the narrative of teaching Haravatat is. Even though she's a Haravatat researcher, she doesn't like Haravatat. I find that pretty iconic in a way. Alright, time to spin the skip button.
Master said there's... I feel for... But if I get her in...
Oh, that's a third option. I forgot about that. Should we do Haravatat first, or should I do the third option? That is the third option right there. Let's think of some way to get her to part DI without resolving her problem. Everything at this point would be completely new if I pick this one. So I kind of want to do that now. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Fuck that. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, that would be the best for
I have a feeling this would be the best.
I'm sure he'll say. Huh? So if I also stay in hell, okay then. We're back, Madam FARUZAN. The Traveler said that he could...
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. Is that so? Good. Now, should I apply?
Tell me more about the Haravatat chorus.
You might have heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that researches languages and runes. 100 years ago, Madame FARUZAN was a researcher from that darshan.
Now, not was. Still am.
Damn, such confidence.
Yes, of course. But current Haravatat students can't really, understand her direction of research. So even if she opened a course, chances are that no one would attend.
Because they don't understand it? That makes me feel for her.
In summary, I mean to interpret the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the deciphering of on-site stone carvings and unearthed documents. It'll include research into general documents dealing with such ancient machines.
The research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanisms. This will make it difficult for students of this darshan because they don't understand much about mechanisms.
Okay.
Also, there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Ksharawar researchers have been developing their own theories on mechanisms. As such, they don't need to rely on ancient documents.
So this subject is what you might call a sunset industry. I have not heard that term in like 10 years, something like that. I could have sworn I heard this term like not just in a game, but in a movie or not cartoon, some kind of TV show. I don't know what the that was that I heard this term from, but I haven't heard that in a long time. What the hell? So she's doing a very niche research.
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms are more dangerous and complex than one might imagine. I'm telling you, things weren't like this 100 years ago. All researchers back then were interested in exploring knowledge from a variety of topics. They also gave more respect to unknown mechanisms. Nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Even if they attended my course, I wouldn't be interested in teaching them.
Oh, Jesus. How are we going to convince her?
Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unrealistic, so they keep cutting my funding.
Yeah, now we understand why they don't give her a time of day. Well, at least the Ksharawar was nicer to her.
Why, I think they could all stand to learn from Kale. She's a hard-working child and respects her elders.
Well, she's just your typical, I wouldn't say goody two-shoes, but she just grew up in a good way at this point now. Because she changed so much from her past that I think that her wanting to change is what makes her hardworking now.
Huh? Why me?
If only those who came to my lectures were more like you. Speaking of which, are you feeling better? You don't have to confine yourself to Gandharvaville anymore, right?
I just remembered that I have a lot of studying to do. I need to head back and find Master.
Kale, what the f... Wait, I have an idea. Kale needs to learn how to read. You need to teach a course.
Are you telling me to start a reading course for Kale?
Huh?
Wait, what is this hangout event? What?
Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the academia, he isn't considered part of it. This means that Kale isn't technically a student.
Does she have to hold a class in the academia? Can't it be a public course?
No, he's right. The old academia became consumed by their arrogance precisely because they ignored the public. There must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are passionate about learning, but cannot study due to various reasons. The old academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading course for Kale as a pilot, perhaps this shall come to benefit many more people in the future.
I'll need to go back and ask if this is in accordance with regulations.
Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. If there's any arguments to be had, we shall sweep them aside together. Traveler, Kale, do wait for us a little while outside the academia. I'll be back in just a moment.
Wait! Let's catch up with her.
Kale sounds so anxious, Jesus Christ. Okay. This hangout event just changed into an interesting situation for sure, though.
rushed right in after we arrived. She's really headstrong. Oh, how did things turn out like this?
Did I end up giving her a bad idea?
No, not really. Madame FARUZAN is a brilliant scholar. Even Master thinks so. If she's really going to teach me how to read, it'll definitely be much better than me bashing my head against the wall. It's just that she can get a bit too passionate sometimes. I don't know how to handle that.
The way she treats you is completely different from the way she treats other researchers.
Maybe it's because she wants to take me in as a student?
I feel like it's more than that. But, sure.
It's just like that researcher said. The academia has completely changed during the 100 years that FARUZAN was gone.
Right.
I don't really get it. But it does seem like Haravitat's students aren't optimistic about the prospects of doing research with her.
Because they don't understand her line of thinking, which obviously has already been played out. She's mentioned it multiple times now. They don't understand her way of thinking and call it outdated, but for Sumeru, I feel like this is one of those times where I feel like outdated stuff should always be taken into account to turn into something more modern, like how things in real life would be for research. You would take stuff from like the old days and then turn it into something modern with it, which is something that I guess people didn't really think about in Sumeru. And there are probably people that are willing to try it, but aren't willing to do it because they don't understand it enough, and are not willing to try to understand it, which is, I guess, the difference.
Students who are interested in mechanisms and applications of the elements generally enroll in Kasharawar and Spotamod. Madame FARUZAN also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. She still hasn't found a student she likes, even after all this time back.
That's a big yikes. So she's a teacher with no students.
But she seems to like my attitude toward learning, so she often asks me if I'm willing to become her student.
Interesting.
It's because I'm a slow learner that I have no choice but to stay up late and study. Whenever she compliments me, I feel really guilty.
So you're scared of her because she keeps asking you to become her student.
It's not that. Madame FARUZAN respects my choices. She hasn't been trying to persuade me, especially since she knows I need to rest and recuperate.
Right.
She sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me, and each time she says that Master can't find out.
Aw, okay, that's kind of cute. It sounds like something a grandmother might do for her granddaughter. She might see you as like maybe someone that she resembled in her past. And I guess she grew to like you because of that. I feel like it is a general likeness towards you.
Now that you mention it, it does feel a bit like that. Do I really look that young?
I mean, if I told you you in the manga looked very concerning compared to what you look like now, I'd say you'd look younger than you did in the manga, if that counts for something strange, even though there were contexts of the manga where she actually was, you know, experimented on at a young age. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Kale, Traveler, thank you for waiting. The issue has been resolved.
That was fast.
I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of the practicality and necessity of educating the general public. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students. They're a lot less forceful than their predecessors, though. I'd say they caved rather quickly.
Amazing.
Were they convinced or were they coerced? Oh, God.
It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application. It's been a century, but the academia is as picky as ever. Let's see now. What do we need to fill in? Course name, learning objectives, teaching methods, course materials. I suppose we can fill in the course name last.
Our learning objective is to teach people to read, right?
That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience isn't toddlers or children, but rather people who already know the basics of reading.
Okay.
As such, we'll need a more specific learning objective. How about proficiency in reading and writing?
That's
Okay.
true. If we use children's teaching materials, we'll only end up wasting a lot of time on things that students would already know.
And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also likely to have life commitments. We need more effective teaching methods.
So other than teaching materials for children, what other learning methods does Kale use?
Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn. That's why I often ask him to help me find simple books to read.
It must have been difficult to get books in Sumeru in recent years, no? Tainari really went the extra mile for you. Expanding literacy is a capital notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books, there should be more people who have become interested in reading. It's a great time to conduct this course.
So we got teaching methods sorted out. How do we choose our course materials then?
So that's next on the list. I fear that I'm at a loss as to which books youngsters like nowadays. Would The Legend of Antara be too old of a story?
If even a centurion like you finds that tale old, how old is that story exactly?
Fair. Kale, what have you been reading lately?
Me? I've been reading light novels from Inazuma. I heard that ever since we were allowed to sell books in Sumeru again, some people set up stalls at Treasure Street to sell light novels. I've been meaning to go there and check it out.
Light novels? This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I doubt I will procure suitable teaching materials from the House of Dana. Treasure Street it is.
Interesting.
Wait for us, Madame Faruzan! You wouldn't think someone as fast as her is over 100. Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her.
Bro, where did she go though? Oh wow, she teleported over here, bro.
What a long and mildly ungrammatical title. And why is the cover so colorful?
That is the definition of a light novel. That is actually the definition of a light novel. That just made my day hearing that.
Is this your first time seeing a light novel, ma'am? Oh, they're the most popular books nowadays. Would you like me to recommend something?
Fine. One shouldn't judge a book by its cover after all. Maybe browse through the books here.
Of course. Why don't you try this one? It's Outlander Brigade, When the Wind of Death Blew Towards the Blonde Samurai.
Oh no, I keep forgetting. Oh god, I forgot. Yeah, Miko made a lot of books procuring towards the traveler's like experience in Inazuma. To some extent.
This book's author describes action in vivid detail.
Also, is this a reference to another Hangout event? I'm almost certain it is. This specific story, because there was a Hangout event that, you know, did like mention a story like this, but I could be wrong about that.
Now I've only skimmed through a few pages, but it feels like it's all fight scenes. There are only subjects and predicates, and the syntax is a tad simple.
Subjects? Predicates?
Don't worry
the
about it.
protagonist just ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone even enjoy a story that's only comprised of fights?
Well, if people are into that kind of subject, there might be people out there who will. It's readers who don't care about plot, right?
How about... the good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat Sunsetias to become stronger.
Ay, 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 that fucking title.
A reincarnation isekai story? Those are pretty popular right now.
Wow. I feel like breaking the fourth wall with this a little bit makes me feel uncomfortable, but I love that they mention it, reincarnation in isekai story. Because nowadays, that's probably the most eaten up material that you'll ever see in anime. And I'll be real with you. Sometimes they're really enjoyable, but really just a nice pastime, realistically speaking. If you really enjoy that stuff, it's always simple to enjoy that stuff. Except for the overpowered main character ones. Those ones is getting so dated at this point that if it doesn't have somewhat of a story, it feels like it gets way too overtuned. But hey, there's one that's out right now that's actually pretty good. I'm waiting for that to finish to watch it too.
Isekai? What in the world is that? Also, why does it become stronger by eating Sunsetias?
Those are what we call tropes, but isekai, it's funny to hear that. Imagine if they said this in Japanese. Like, literally, isekai just means another world.
Tropes? Ah, those fictional rules used to push the plot forward, yes? They're definitely effective in achieving a distancing effect.
Right.
Sorry. What is this distancing effect?
However, this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical rule will affect the coherence of the story. Will readers really accept this?
I feel like this goes without saying that there should be an explanation to reincarnation, but that's why some anime have done a really good job directing that kind of approach, where like they get a reincarnation from via the god of the world, just all of a sudden just reincarnates you because it felt like you didn't have a good enough life, so it wants to give you a better one. That kind of idea. I've seen some isekais that done that, and those give a better context to things, but sometimes again the isekai title is just kind of eh. So it's like, what is there to say to that? There's anime most of the time don't have a lot of logic to it. Some isekais, if not most, do not have logic to it. But there have been some isekais that have had a good established story, but the trope was a little too because some people would notice one thing, that even though the title suggests certain things, there would be a sub, trope to it. I like to call it, but I forgot the other term for it. But it's usually just an anime that has a lot of fighting in it, but it might even have a subtle harem to it, and that does turn people off. I don't blame them.
How about this? I had to fight tooth and nail to get this in stock.
Oh, that's the latest volume of Onibudo.
Onibudo?
Now that's a rather
I
normal
feel like
title.
the reference.
Oh, Kale,
I
do
could be
you like
wrong.
this series?
Yes, but I don't like it that much.
Just be honest. She clearly recognized the latest volume with a single glance. Is she embarrassed to admit that she likes the book like that? Come on, it's fine to like the book. She's not gonna hurt you.
Madam, are you going to use this series as teaching material?
Let me see. The dialogue flows quite well, but there are too many phrases here that I don't recognize. Third eye of perception, illusory mirror, and so on. Aren't these terms that are tied to tropes?
Somewhat.
I also thought those names were strange when I was reading them.
Guess that's a language researcher for Haruta for you. She's able to say those phrases in such a serious tone.
It's
I love
impossible
it.
to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Also, their morphological properties are quite pedestrian, really. Or did the protagonist purposely create these strange names to disorient their foes?
I think it's because the names are cool. I think it's just because they think it's cool.
So there's no deeper purpose. Hi. It's quite hard to understand stories written these days.
Yeah, it is strange.
You're right. It's
But,
such
yeah.
a weird book. But you keep wanting to read the next page.
Because you're interested in
Even
it.
the most popular book in Sumeru back then had greater depth than anything written today.
Well, yeah, because it probably had depth to a story that was either maybe a love story or maybe a story of wanting to understand the world better. I mean, it is anime like that out there that surprised me. Then there's the mystery ones. Who are the mystery ones? I love those stories sometimes because it ends up not being dragged out and too obvious. Sometimes it ends up being something where you have to second guess a potential situation and it ends up not being that one and ends up being the one that you didn't think would happen or potentially would happen to make it not sound like it's an obvious choice. I like it. It's cool.
Yes. A Bahumano researcher wrote it while researching folk legends. The plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the writing could withstand scrutiny. When it was still being published, many people in the academia were reading it.
Hearing her explain that part is like the definition of a shonen anime almost. Almost. Not every shonen's that good, alright? I feel like people overrate shonen, but that's why some people don't like shonen, which is kind of weird. But I don't see anything wrong with it. Having a good established story is always something that keeps people, interested. Because, of course, everything starts from light novel to anime, and then when it's an anime, it's like The story is just so intriguing, so established. It makes you keep wanting to see what happens next, and that is what I consider a good story as well.
Even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic. The series must have concluded after so many years, right? Perhaps it's even more popular now.
Is there a book like that in Sumeru? I've never heard of such a thing before. What's the title?
It's called Tales of Shariar. Do you sell it here?
Huh.
Tales of Shariar? I don't think I've heard of that before. When was it published?
About 100 years ago.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my leg? What sort of book can remain popular for 100 years?
Alright, I bet you that can be proven wrong one day, but probably not in my timeline.
The Legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling it a few days ago in a cafe. If an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar must be even more popular.
Even if that is the case, I really don't carry that book here in my store.
That's understandable, my guy.
What? Is that because of the Academia's strict control over books in recent years?
Probably.
I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized. How can they not know about the Tales of Shariar?
You're making me sad.
Tales of Shariar? Oh, wait. I think I heard an antique seller on the other end of Treasure Street mention that name before. I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago. Why don't you try asking for it there?
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the Academia have let such an excellent work of literature be forgotten like this? Traveler, Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's meet at the antique sellers.
Madam, wait! Oh no, this is bad.
What's so bad?
You asked me why I'm scared of Madame FARUZAN, right? It's not because I don't know how to respond to her kindness. It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses ancient texts as teaching material?
I doubt this counts as a book written in ancient language.
Even so, what if
Book is only 100
researchers from
years.
100 years ago like to use ancient languages in their books? We've got to catch up to her!
I don't know whether I should you call this a FARUZAN hangout event when Kale is here for the whole ride, but I do find this amusing.
Found it! The 5th volume of Tales of Shariar.
Wow, you actually found it!
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
Oh god, your voice is deep as hell.
All right, that's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of Classical Texts. After all, this book is definitely worthy of being called a classic.
Can I take a look? Luckily the language being used here isn't ancient at all. I can recognize a few words here and there. Huh? But why aren't there pictures in this book?
Because it's a book. I feel like people fail to remember that books actually had only words in it at one point in time. I feel like the same is going for what's being shown here.
As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustrations to imagine the scenes. Worry not, I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. You'll like this book, I know it.
Oh god.
After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Aziz ended up together. And who obtained the desert gem in the end? Sir, do you have the subsequent volumes of this series?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And here I thought I could finally read the ending. Never mind, I'll keep searching for the later volumes myself. If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series. Where are the first 4 volumes? Why aren't they all together?
I don't have those either. Actually, this is the only volume I have.
I can't get over how deep your voice is. This is actually ridiculous. Like, why is your voice so damn deep? For an antique seller, you would think an antique seller would have like a voice that captures people's attention. This is just like, what the fuck?
Is this series really that popular?
No, no, no. It's not popular at all. Rather, there's absolutely no demand for it.
What?
No demand? Impossible. Back then, I'd come across at least 3 groups of people talking about it during a single stroll at the academia.
Seriously? No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
Where did you get this from? Can you still contact the seller?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. I didn't even notice it initially.
Oh, damn.
Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot? It can't be, right?
I guess not.
That's impossible. No matter how strict the academia was, there's no way Tales of Shariar could have fallen into such a state.
I was so angry.
Passerby skimming through the book a few days ago. However, he simply sighed and left.
He sighed? Why would he react like that? Given the quality of Tales of Shariar, he should have been entranced after a single glance. I'm sorry,
let's see.
Traveler, Kale, please give me a moment. I'd like to look through this book first. Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, why is there no mention of the Desert Gem at all? And a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Also, what are all these new names and terms? Is this really the Tales of Shariar I know?
It sounds like someone tried to make a new version of it, and things just kind of fell apart, I guess.
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same way.
Who would the passerby by
It's
any
Gaddafi from the
chance?
cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day telling the legend of Antara. Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or two about that, Tales of, whatever it's called.
Then let's go ask around at the cafe. Huh? Madame FARUZAN?
Huh? Oh, yes. Let's go.
Alright, so before I continue, there's something I need to do first. Because I need to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to do that real quick.
Good roll. All right.
Alright, Puspa Cafe. Ugh. I don't know how to fucking burp me. I haven't ate anything today. I have thoughts as to why. But alright. Let's see this. This hangout event really changed course.
Another day, another empty room.
Oh, I remember you. You're the guy that just kind of like stands in front of like everybody in the middle of the place and just like talks about stuff, but I don't even notice you. I just talk to the bartender and be like, yeah, give me your recipes. I want them.
Excuse me? But are you Mata?
Yes. Are you here to listen to my story?
Do I feel wrong saying this? Can we switch back to Kale? Okay.
Well, we actually came to ask about something else.
Are NPCs all look the same, or am I missing something? I can't help but feel bothered by the fact that we have another. Can I say his name? I mean, it's the same old dude that we saw outside with FARUZAN not too long ago. Like, I just saw him in the background of like one of the parts. Anyways, I don't know. It just kind of bothered me because we just see him here inside of Puspa Cafe now. But it could just be a different person that has the same face.
I see.
Don't worry, we are here to talk to you though.
It's fine. I'm used to it, more or less. So, how can this terribly unpopular storyteller help you?
Do you know about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shariar? Why, I can barely remember the last time anyone talked about it. My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However, I tried reciting a few chapters of it at the cafe, and I found that it's even less popular than The Legend of Antara.
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He said that Tales of Shariar was written by his master's master's master.
Dude, you wanna run me back on that? The master's master. There's a lot of master in that, my guy.
He also said that this great-great-grandmaster was an academia researcher, and that even the sages liked the series. He wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better and better. You couldn't find a single person in Sumeru who hadn't read his books.
And then, what happened next? Why doesn't anyone know about Tales of Shariar now?
Oh,
okay, I guess they
it's hard
stopped
to
writing
tell
the
with
series,
the
or did they
trends.
finish?
One day everyone
Was
likes
it popular
stories
enough?
like that, and the next day their tastes change completely.
Ah, yes, just like gacha games where everyone will like a character or, completely rail a character, and then everyone moves on to the next new thing that comes out. Yeah, I completely understand that. Sadly, I'm not in that perspection because I don't summon for every character, but that's like the first thing I think about.
Instead of writing a proper ending, this great-great-grandmaster kept trying to extend the story. To tap into popular trends, he added a lot of tropes. Then, starting from the 5th volume, the reviews started to go downhill.
How could that be? Then what happened to Tales of Shariar in the end?
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time, but the trends kept changing right as he published his books. He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether and focused on his research instead.
What? So there's no ending? The readers didn't care?
That sucks. That actually sucks.
By that time, only a very small number of people were reading Tales of Shariar. Anyway, my master probably exaggerated. How could a work possibly have been that popular? The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster left is the original draft of Legend of Antara.
Oh, okay. So he created that book as well.
He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, he'd even quote from those theses.
Theses?
My master is a much better storyteller than me. Even when we're telling the same story about Antara, he's always able to draw in a huge crowd. But even he won't recite Tales of Shariar due to its ever-changing writing style and its lack of an ending.
That explains why it's not popular, specifically because the storytelling direction changed. And I mean, it was pretty obvious from when FARUZAN read it because she couldn't recognize that it was the same one that she remembered, and that makes me feel for her.
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted through the years.
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time can separate the classics from the fads.
Only time?
Madame FARUZAN?
She's so
It's been 100
sad.
years. Perhaps some things I once believed to be great aren't so after all.
You know, I think you don't have to worry about that. The story decline might not have been due to the changing trends. It doesn't matter if it's a classic or a fad, what matters is that you like it.
Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first, but in the end, I realized that I couldn't get into them. No matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place. I think the best books for me are the ones I like.
The problem here is not actually about improving your reading skills, but I suppose the principle is the same.
Huh. Indeed. That is true. Readers' interests and trends of a time are not things that are so easily predicted. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, 100 years, as far as history is concerned, is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shariar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would be a work that was true to itself.
Huh? Our conversation just got a lot more serious.
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have to hang in there and tell Antara's story well.
You should think about the present first.
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get back to the matter of our teaching material. It looks like we can't use Tales of Shariar now.
What about the Legend of Antara then? It seems like a good time for that, right?
No, it's much too old.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
Kale,
Oh.
that you liked at the book stall, yes?
Oh, she's gonna use your book.
But I don't really...
She's gonna use your book.
Then we'll use that book as our teaching material.
I called it.
Now that I think about it, using a book that you like is the most suitable choice for teaching you how to read. As for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this.
Didn't she... Oh, popular literature. I propose the appreciation of popular literature, the analysis of popular literature. I think that's a good one.
My, it sounds like you've dealt with the academia before. Let's go with that. Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and buy the latest volume of this Onibudo for Kale. Ah, but if I wish to use it as teaching material, I have to read it first.
Huh?
Kale, you're making me anxious seeing you like this. Jesus Christ.
Speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory mirror, I also espy some unfamiliar phrases from the reader's messages at the back of the book. Such things as, even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And the author has written all the things that I only dare whisper into a tree hollow.
Kale, you want to say something to me?
Why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? Is this some slang that was invented in the last century? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as someone burdened by fate, fighting against the world, etc.
I mean, there's been a lot of isekai that have done that. Jesus.
But as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories. Some would write those fantasies into novels, while others would entrust such tales to tree hollows.
Kale.
Mata? You know, I suddenly have the urge to hear a story about Antara.
Kale really wants to change the subject.
Why so suddenly?
Kale just doesn't want them to know that she yelled into a tree hollow before. That was a good time when we had learned that. I think we can ignore the whole dark history thing just for now. It's good to reminisce the old tale in a while.
I knew it. There will always be people who love the golden oldies.
The golden oldies.
Let me tell you all about the ancient hero,
the oldies nuts.
Antara.
Tales of the past remain radiant even though this was a cute part. I actually enjoyed that. That was cute. Alright, so let's see if there's any other ending in that part, because that had its own story direction, so I played it out as normal. So what happened down here? It didn't go down here? Wait, where did it go then? Oh, it was not, no, it was up here, right? Oh, it was. It was the top one? Wait, then what's the bottom one? I guess wait, the bottom one I guess is... Oh. There was a separate ending for the toy one? What? I have to see this. The question and answer. You tell me because I got it wrong? Or because I got it right, it gave me the other ending? It's kind of funny how I end up going by chance sometimes, but I just like summed it up. Didn't expect to get that correct about it. Oh, it was down here when there was a different direction? Why though?
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you
About
can.
Anise.
Anise? We haven't had much time to get to know each other, but she seems like a good kid. She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind something without being influenced by others. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Still, how much she learns will really depend on her.
Why don't you take her on as a student for you? Yes.
Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanisms.
Oh.
I do have some old knowledge to share, but if we think about the future, it's easier for her to learn the things she's interested in if she stays in Kasharawar. My research into mechanisms is, in a sense, a side effect of my research into ancient texts. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't benefit either of us in the long run.
Interesting.
However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient texts over these next 2 days, that would change things. If I successfully poach a student, those young punks at Haravatat will have one less reason to cut my budget. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget.
About the collaborative
I can come up
project.
with lots of ideas. With Anise's help, 2
So
days
she
will
said
be
the
enough for
same
our work.
thing. Try to be accurate in oh. Okay, so that's why there's a different ending because of this. Okay, accurate in detail.
Explanations are a core part of early developments, too. By using detailed and accurate illustrations, we can impart knowledge more effectively. It would also make it easier for me to recruit students. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account.
Alright, now I gotta wait 2 days like a dumbass. Okay, let me stop. I can't help that. It's like the black in me wants to make a beat to this sound. Oh, God. So, what ending will we have over here now?
Oh, you're here.
We've called up everyone we possibly...
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the academia shall say about it this time. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle
Oh,
mechanisms
she says
were
something
used
completely
in
different
various
now.
ruins. All right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base layer design of elemental monuments.
Oh. Rather than suggesting it, she's going right into it. How did things turn out like this?
Are we done yet? Oh, I'm falling asleep.
Mm.
I don't understand any of it at all.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't be making a child understand this right now. This guy's asleep, bruh. He's snoozing.
Are these really toys?
Bruh.
They sound a bit too dangerous to buy for children.
Dangerous? Bruh, how so? I'm curious. What the hell are Kamal doing here?
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone.
Guess he's over there. I don't
If you're
notice him.
interested in the mechanisms Madame FARUZAN's talked about, you're more than welcome to try them out.
Oh, this is no fun. Can I try another toy?
I want to go home and play Genius Invocation TCG.
This guy's just sleeping, bruh.
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be interested.
Damn, so this is the opposite effect. So this is the opposite effect if I had said to try to be accurate. That's amazing.
How did this happen? Forget about getting opinions from others. No one even wanted to stay and try them out.
I'm sorry. I think we miscalculated.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. Anise, too, was only following my instructions. I will find a way to make up for this error. Please, give me some time. I'll write another reference book.
Excuse me, but are you the one who wrote this reference book?
Bruh.
Yes. Who are you?
Ah, you're that man mountain who was in the crowd just now.
Man mountain?
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys.
Now I think about it, this is probably their first time hearing his voice, because I should know. Is it? Maybe? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe. Not too sure. I say this is the branch director of Sumeru's Adventurers Guild, just like how we have one for Mondstadt. I don't remember if we saw the one from Leeway. I don't care to remember.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal, the branch master of Sumeru's Adventurers Guild.
What's the branch master doing here? Were you looking for us, or did something happen?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet you were handing out, so I came to take a look. Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild? Also, could you make full-fledged models of those paper prototypes and sell them to us as well?
What does the Adventurers Guild want with these toys?
Yeah, this is kind of weird, bruh.
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of machines and contraptions within ancient ruins, this booklet is a true treasure. We have many members who can't read, so books are of little use to them. What they know of handling mechanisms has been learned solely through word of mouth. Even if the academia granted public access to all their books, there are people who can't use them.
Ah, and our booklet is practically all pictures.
Well, it is designed for children.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Also, those paper strips, you called them paper prototypes? If you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes, even the most illiterate person would be able to follow along and understand. If we can supply a model set for each branch, and if each adventurer carries a booklet with them, then ruin exploration will become much safer.
You really think so? I mean, yes. I always knew it. Knowledge will always be needed, one way or another.
Look at that proud face he's putting on again.
Making models of contraptions for the Adventurers Guild? To be honest, that sounds like a good avenue to explore to me.
Will there be an issue with the academia?
We'll probably have to send in a separate application, but it shouldn't be an issue. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins. It's a problem that the academia is actually trying to address as well.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. The amount we're offering to pay in advance is this much.
What the heck? She's like through the moon in happiness. Like, how much is he willing to pay you? Wow. What is? Wait, did she faint? Oh no, as we'll find it, she is. What happened here? I don't know. She's like through the roof though. That's awesome. I'm gonna try to use one of these for an ending. These illustrations, 'cause I've always done it with these hangout events. So whatever thumbnail I have now, I'm gonna change it, which makes me a bit sad. But hey, it's all in due course. So that was a straightforward ending. We got these two. Now we can deal with the last two for the academic problem. So we're going to skip everything and then get right into it. Well, it looks like I better use that last condense before I end the day. I actually might be willing to do that, but I feel like I shouldn't use that last condense. Or I can use 30 Resident go fight Toad. I still need to do that. Yeah, I still need to do that. I want to crown Hotel again.
What now? Master said there's... I feel for... But if I get her in
Oh, this. Let's think of some way to get her to parties. Yeah, I forgot about that. Let's do this.
But if someone does complain to the academia, wouldn't it make FARUZAN's situation more awkward? And if the academia investigated and found her at Parties DI, things would get even worse for her. Do you have some way to invite her over to Parties DI without stepping on the academia's toes?
I do have the makings of an idea. Let's say this.
Okay then, I'm counting on you.
Oh, now she's not doing the pose and everything. She's like, I'm actually curious what's gonna happen.
I have to teach students from Haravatat or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
Madam FARUZAN, we're back! Sorry for asking again, but are you sure you can't go to Parties DI today?
Well, since you're asking me so sincerely, let's just ignore the academia and...
Please, Madam FARUZAN, focus! Today's the deadline.
Actually, Tainari wants to invite her over to discuss some research.
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you two over.
He wants to talk to you
That lad
too,
didn't
I
make
don't
it
know
very
why.
clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah, that's right! Master sent us over to explain everything to you.
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too much of a coincidence.
But he does want to talk to her. I don't know exactly for what though, because he didn't really specify. I just know that it had to do with the fact that people in academia don't know how to handle FARUZAN.
Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame FARUZAN's research and that of Amorta, right? What will you even be collaborating on?
Master wants to research...
A fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
FARUZAN is literally word of mouth right now.
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved.
Huh?
I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
I found it 100 years ago, so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one way or the other, right?
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made any progress with either the collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't delay this any longer.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done.
I feel bad for Tainari, but hey, now we can go
Phew.
meet up with him.
I think she bought it.
That was quite thinking right there. That quick wit.
Even though this is our first meeting, I must say, we make a good team.
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madam Faruzan, did you really find an irrigation system 100 years ago? If the academia asks for any details...
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details, no?
Huh? Then how will we explain things to them?
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the academia.
Uh-oh.
If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the academia nonsense.
Well, that was a successful first part. Now we can return to Party's DI. Let's go make it daytime, 'cause I don't want it to be nighttime. Now we only got 2 more endings left, and then we're done. Hopefully we can finish this up within the next hour. Probably should. Stream is going very successful. Which makes me happy, because now I can focus all my time into what I got prepared for tomorrow. Because I got a special video going up tomorrow, and then I gotta upload my recorded playthrough later. I keep forgetting about that. I'll have to upload that around 5, 6 o'clock. Probably 6 o'clock.
Master, we're back! Huh? Where did he go?
You don't have to shout. I can hear you.
Oh yeah, you got ears that can hear many things. I'm sorry.
Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot more business to take care of.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn off various problems of mine onto others.
You don't even realize it yet, Thunder.
Onto others? What does that mean?
You will find out.
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please, follow me.
So, is this about the mechanical creature from the Tainari story quest? Because there was once where I saw the specific screenshot, and it was the fact that Tainari is still holding on to this guy here. I forgot the name of this guy. Karkata.
A monster? Why is there a monster here?
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. Its name is Karkata. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. What a shame.
Well, because he was so disowned for doing such a project, he got ridiculed for, researching such a thing because it was considered like, banned research. It makes me feel bad for him though, because I feel like this research should have been appreciated for how much he actually did, but people would have still wanted to get rid of this machine otherwise. But I forgot this thing fell apart at the end of Tainari's story quest, so we never actually fixed it up. Are you telling me this is what Tainari wanted her for, to fix this boy?
Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than they look.
Is Karkata sick?
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further, but Madame FARUZAN, you should be able to find a way to repair it.
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here.
I feel it.
Karkata. Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on you, Madame FARUZAN.
Who knew that I'd encounter a mechanical life form in this manner after 100 years?
I still really love her design. I can't even get over it. It's such that so many characters for Samira have a lovely design, but a lot of them feel really bad at heart. At least she feels good at C6 to play, because otherwise I would have been more sad to see more characters that just don't feel good to play. Even though a part of me doesn't want to play Kandaki or Candace, I still might build her one day in the future just for the sake of it. But I don't think I'm ever going to play her unless I get Shinna. It's just kind of funny to say that now. But yeah.
I didn't know mechanical life forms could get sick too. You have to get better soon, Karkata.
Bruh.
We'll wait here till FARUZAN finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her.
Oh. Man, if I did this part first, I would have at least got to hear more about her past.
Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. Perhaps it'd be best if I'm the one to tell you. I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description. Her exact words were...
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities in my mind. After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
She doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin and how she finally managed to escape. When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. Only after a lengthy recovery period could she speak again.
So, because of how long she'd been there, her cognitive state was like really worn down from what he's explaining, which actually makes sense because she was using her brain power like a mad lad to like the bitter end. I'm just happy that she actually recovered from that because most people wouldn't be able to recover from such a thing. If you use too much of your brain power, if you get a headache from it, then that's normal. But if you end up not, recovering in a way that you start to feel weak, that's dangerous. That's worse than getting a headache if you like actually were to use a lot of your brain power. It's still kind of funny to say that, but yeah, that's actually scary. Where everything just starts to feel slowed down, and all of a sudden, her brain wasn't working properly, but. Seemed like she
The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines a century ago. And because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism and then escape. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew, and everyone who knew her, was already gone. In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her existence.
Damn.
Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events.
It wouldn't stop me from wanting to pity her, you know.
Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within expectations.
I had to sit up.
Even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research.
That's insane.
Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage of detractors herself. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, FARUZAN is a true senior researcher in every sense of the word. She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about them with her. It'll definitely be helpful for your journey.
Who knows? It might be very useful in the Hydro region. Who knows how that region's going to falter in terms of, I guess, the intricacy of what could befall a region in terms of exploration at this point. We've seen so many things in this game, and the most interesting mechanism that we had to deal with, which was from Inazuma, was one I was forced to look up because it wasn't something you could figure out on your own. It just wasn't possible. For someone that figured this out on their own, it isn't just taking intelligence. They took a lot of their time to figure out the puzzle. Like, there's some puzzles that are just super simplified in this game, and some that are a little bit harder than others. It's all about paying attention. But there were some that had no explanation to it, so it took trial and error. And more than that, it took a lot to even do a confirmation of it. And I don't remember what the heck it was. I just remembered it was from Inazuma, and it was a puzzle that I was forced to look up, and I did on stream even. Or I didn't do it on stream. I think I did it off stream, but I had showed it on stream when I was exploring in the, wow, I forgot the name of the island. God damn it. Sagana, man. What's it called that? I forget. I just know with that area where, you know, Kokomi resides in, that area of the region.
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh? Let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abattoir really installed quite a few impressive things on this. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
Yep.
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Carcutta's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins. The creators of the ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it.
Oh.
The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear, this is going to be a problem. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Carcutta. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert. to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
Oh.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? Well, that is indeed possible.
But the desert's huge. How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkata needs?
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
What's the lead researcher's name? Where the astrology team currently stationed?
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles down.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after it. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia left for me.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Tanuri.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said you pawned it off to someone else. Wait, don't tell me.
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing your work, Tainari.
Good luck with it, man.
A fully automated irrigation system. That's quite the task.
Master, can I help with anything at all? I can go buy things, prepare pen and paper.
Oh, you know, I seem to remember that you have a lot of homework today.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I do.
Well, hurry up and finish it so you can sleep early, or Faruzan will worry. That's the best thing you can do now to help.
Oh, okay.
A fully...
Master?
Okay, I just want to see it again.
Huh?
Well, hurry up and finish.
Oh.
Anyways, look for the thing I was trying to remember again. It was over here, over to the very left. I don't think it called Zakanomiya. Watatsumi. There we go. Watatsumi Island was the sub-region of Inazuma I was trying to remember. So yeah. Before we go there, I need to finish the expedition. I don't want that to stain my time. Seeing that on my screen. But seriously, that is ridiculous to me. Like, Jesus Christ. That was probably the only mechanism in the entire game that was impossible for me to do without looking it up, because there was no direction of understanding for it. I thought it was cool. It's just, it sucked that I don't think, no matter how much I would have tried on it, there was no way for me to clear it, because I wouldn't have the understanding of what it was trying to make me do. I think it's cool, though, that things like that can exist in the game, and I don't know if I would prefer harder stuff like that. I just want the direction to be easier to tell while exploring, rather than something that takes numbers and kind of a grid to get an understanding of something. It made me not really enjoy that one. To be more realistic, yeah. Alright. Oh. There's a man's over here.
What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further.
She's a researcher from the academia.
That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't damage the site.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you've visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from? I want to see him right now.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you permission to enter.
What a stubborn guy.
We can't just waste our time here like this. Let's just wait for a researcher to come back first. Uh-oh, 2 different endings? It's like, I would want to wait for him to come back too. Even if, this kind of sucks waiting.
You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him about it. So let's just see what we can find out from the people here. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back. Starting from who in the world mentored you?
I can't get over like this angry face she makes. She looks so cute when she makes this face. I don't know why. Is it because her eyes are so strange looking? I've always wanted to ask that question too though. Her eyes are so weird looking. She's the only character with these eyes. At least Kaya has eyes of a Conrian. And there's like other characters have unique eyes as well. Like Dia looks like she's a feline. She was born by somebody who was a cat. Like there's no way around it. Like, but Kuching is unexplained too. She has a very strange shaped eye as well that stands out compared to other characters. But yeah. Oh.
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required.
Oh, let me beat your ass. I'm just kidding.
That machine looks amazing. Could it be the legendary Ruin Wanderer? The location seems to fit too. Might that legend actually be true?
That's what it counts as tours. Gotta remember that there's still that Sealy port that I never figured out either. I don't know where the Sealy's at. I didn't try to look for it.
The ruins?
Maybe another time.
Don't know anything. We were only hired to deliver water and supplies to them. Forget excavation. They won't even let us get close to the camp where they're staying.
Well, that's good to know. Something about that's kind of strange.
Take it easy. This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms, but it's been calm lately for some reason. They say that this was done by a single traveler? But seriously, is such a thing even humanly possible?
I mean, look at me. I feel like the traveler shouldn't be able to do it, but he can. After asking her how FARUZAN starts to organize the information she has gathered.
I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you?
The sandstorm dispersing. The hired villagers from Aru villains and machines they speak of. Nah, I think the hired villagers from Aru
The
village.
villagers were hired to deliver supplies, but they haven't been allowed near the campsite. That's definitely odd.
That one stood out to me the most.
However, I'm more concerned about this Ruin Wanderer they speak of.
I guess so, but if she's talking about because she'd never seen the machine before, I'm not that interested in it.
Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. But that wreckage did seem a bit weird. It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure from this distance. Perhaps we should ask the villager from before about the legend first.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here?
I want to learn more about the legend of the Ruined Wanderer. You're the person I mentioned.
Not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's a tale that's over a decade old. It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed to see it while exploring. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then, and the legend has since faded into memory. You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the Ruin Wanderer?
Well, I had also heard that secondhand from...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk, right?
What the hell?
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure.
Oh,
I'm
you're
Raid,
right.
the one who
Okay.
organized this archaeological expedition.
Intriguing.
I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Truly, it is an honor. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume. What brings the two of you here?
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while now.
Really? That Ruin Wanderer isn't noteworthy to you?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they do into gossiping.
You're right, sir. I'll get back to work now.
The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such baseless talk.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if I can find out anything new about them. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing better than your help with our research. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? We can continue our discussion tomorrow. There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest. It's a bit simple, yes, but I hope you won't mind.
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that.
I was wondering what just popped out in front of my screen like that. I don't know what caused that, but alright. Oh, create a makeshift camp. I would go into the makeshift camp. Okay.
This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers
Is it
from
nighttime?
eavesdropping on them?
Did I just go from
This seems
daytime to
just fine,
nighttime?
though. This way, they won't overhear our conversations either. Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine wreckage. I only caught a quick glimpse, and it was from a distance. But based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, I'd estimate that it only stopped moving about a dozen years ago.
That's an interesting observation.
Yes, the timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now,
Okay, yeah.
assuming that it really
Alright.
is the Ruin Wanderer, how do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite high-intensity operation over the course of several decades?
So this goes back to the module thing where it didn't exactly, you know, it's not exactly not working anymore. It's because of the thing that's inside of it.
That's right.
The restitution
Technically
module.
speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before.
You encountered others beside
Well,
Karkata?
this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Karkata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only able to help me record some notes. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules buried around here.
Is it no longer
Honestly,
around?
people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly.
Why didn't you go to investigate
Had I
earlier?
confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obediently. and he'd get away scot-free. If the wreckage were to be handed to the academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Carcata. Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next move. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, they're likely to try tonight. We must be vigilant.
Ah. I mean, I don't blame you for thinking like that. I was actually thinking similar to that. I knew they tried something. I want to spy on them too,
I knew
actually.
they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover something tomorrow. Not a single person guarding the campsite. This must be quite the manpower expenditure. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall them if it comes to that, would you? All right. I'm counting on you.
Let's see what I can do. So I'm gonna stall them while FARUZAN probably goes from back there so she can like analyze them.
The tent here yet. We need to switch it out tonight.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first time we're delivering such a huge one.
I love how there's just that little fox animal in the background chilling.
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from flapping. Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me tonight, no matter what it takes.
Huh? Who's there?
The Traveler.
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. When did you get here?
What's the delivery you're having trouble with?
It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Some of them, along with a few people, have been left there. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that previous campsite delivered here.
I guess in that over here
The relics
because
in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Since the tent isn't here yet and I can't fall asleep, I came here to patrol.
I feel like as important as you are, you're probably the one person that shouldn't be doing this. There are people who'd steal the relics.
Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many people precisely because I was worried about that happening. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the academia really aware that you've traversed through the desert to come here in the middle of the night?
Can't really say that for
Also,
sure.
where's FARUZAN? Why isn't she with you?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
She got you there. I just love her eyes so much. I find her eyes just so endearing to look at. It makes me wonder, did her eyes look like this because of the rooms that she was in? Or was she like born like that? It's just something I keep asking myself in my head.
Sorry, Madam FARUZAN.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever, so I came to check in on the situation.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Those interlopers? Yeah, I heard that.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Let's head back.
Heading back already?
Yes. We came to check out the situation, didn't we? Well, we've already done that. We should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow.
What? What's wrong? Was I mistaken? Oh, did they already switch it out? Wait. Wait, something just confirmed it. Can I have to read one more time?
Sorry for disturbing your rest.
Oh, you just said the same thing. What about you guys? They don't say anything.
Take it easy.
I think FARUZAN's gonna tell us something. I feel like they already switched something out. I just have this feeling that's what FARUZAN's gonna tell us.
Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. These are the excavation records from their campsite.
Oh yeah, she's
According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous traps and contraptions having already been triggered. I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for over 100 years. There's no doubt that the wreckage and the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it must have wandered into the ruins about a dozen years ago. It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins, remaining stationary like that until it was discovered recently. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. I have no doubt that the researcher could definitely reach the same conclusion I did. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher.
You can decipher coded
those
messages?
pages.
I mean, I think she created coded messages. I remember Tainari explaining that.
It's just wordplay. And if anything, that's my wheelhouse. Just a bit more. Ah, I see now.
Help! Please help!
Oh, they put that bit in there, bro.
Why are you running away? Come back! Protect me!
Bro, they can't protect you.
What's that sound? Is it?
Man's like, what's good, motherfucker?
The Ruin Wanderer? Reactivated? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind. We have to focus on saving lives first. I'll cover them. You go stall the Ruin Wanderer. What? It ignored the Traveler?
It's not going toward the travel.
After us?
Cause you did something to it, bruh. It's actually has some emotion that it can't convey. It wants them nuts.
What could have caused it to reactivate? And to give chase?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't escape, so let's just attack it!
Oh, it deactivated. Intriguing. Now I'm actually very interested as to why this happened.
Hey, you guys, get up there and tell me what's going on.
But what if it suddenly moves?
Bruh.
You good-for-nothings. Why is everyone I hired so useless? Move! I'll do it myself.
I think FARUZAN's already going to be ahead of this.
Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore after years of disrepair. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be. I didn't expect it to be so much weaker than it looks. How disappointing.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it for much?
I mean, there's a whole lot going into this one.
FARUZAN, you may be my senior as an academia researcher, but that doesn't mean you get to slander me.
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better.
I don't recognize that thing.
January 3rd, excavated 5 tenths. January 5th, 3 tenths sold.
Oh. So she calls... So that was what I thought it was. Then... Here I thought they were just trying to move the giant thing without anyone knowing throughout the night with what they called the tent. But now I'm just like, wow. All I can say is wow to this. So this guy is trying to sell these room machines, but who the hell would buy them?
January 10th. One special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tent.
The tent.
You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it. When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruin Wanderer in the black market, yes? And then we arrived just before you could finish your work. That forced you to speed up your plan and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the Ruin Wanderer instead. Did I get that all right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's crazy, bro.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms. You're not fit to be a researcher.
Ridiculous. Curiosity? Respect? I'm not here to hear you preach. Hey, we're leaving.
Mr. Aid!
Behind you?
Oh, damn. Oh, this man about to beat your ass. Oh, damn.
Why is it moving again? Run!
Man's got eaten up. The man with no mouth. Why is it just looking up? FARUZAN, watch out.
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time?
FARUZAN, is there something I'm missing here? Was the machine that was inside of it something that helped FARUZAN?
Long time no see, Tamimi.
Tamimi. Oh, that's cute. So that's why it was able to move around, but why it deactivated, because this is... I'm so used to destroying these things, but at least we have a cute little thing here, I guess. And what's with these? Dear Madam FARUZAN, and notes manuscripts found in Tamimi haven't transcribed and organized everyone. Okay. I hope that even after 100 years of future generations of students will still remember your name. Oh. Oh, come on. Yellowed note. Tamimi's remodeling is going smoothly as it is now. It can learn how to deal with various dangerous situations in the ruins on its own, which you can see with your own eyes. As I worked, I kept thinking that you'd do a better job at this than I could. Charlie, you're the most exceptional student I have ever met. Oft-corrected note. I told you not to. Now look, so many people worried, even Tamimi. The messy scribbling has been repeatedly cancelled, edited, leaving barely legible phrases and a single neat message at the back. Hurry up and come home for a meal. Your mom always makes an extra portion of food, you know. Oh, that made me sad hearing that. That was one thing I forgot to notice about the people that gave birth to her won't even know her anymore because they're not around anymore. That makes me a bit sad. Even her parents.
Dear FARUZAN, I hope you're doing well.
Oh.
It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most likely dead. But somehow, I feel like you're still alive. Yes, that you live still in some corner of this world. You've always been persistent, able to shine no matter what situation you face. I believe that this persistence serves you well in surviving and finding your way home. Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. I don't have much time left, and my reflexes have slowed. Others keep telling me to stop exploring ruins. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which you've been to. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi, so it can search for you in our place. You didn't like coming home back then, and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter with Tamimi. I wonder if it'll ever be delivered to you. I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this letter, I hope it'll be when you've already found your way home. I regret not being able to say this to you myself, but I'll still feel sincerely happy for you, my dear daughter.
Aww. Then this feels like, out of all the endings, depending on how this looks, I might end up using the picture for this at the ending. It's just too good.
Welcome home, FARUZAN. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all these years. Thank you for waiting for me all this time. I've safely received the letters. Your work is done now. You can sleep.
Oh.
Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I would go on expeditions, it would follow me, take notes for me, and send my letters home.
Oh.
When I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter for me. I once thought that I'd never get to see it again. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to self-learning. And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified itself using parts it found along the way. One decade of wandering became many, and soon, Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the Ruin Wanderer. All so it could deliver these last letters from them to me.
Even though they all have passed on, they still pray for your safe return.
The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too much for your heart, right? Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limits over the past few decades. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It probably became trapped in the ruins all those years ago because its shelf life had run out. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had to deliver that last letter. Now, it can finally rest in peace.
Jesus.
Tainari told you what happened to me, right?
Oh.
You don't have to apologize. It's not like this incident is a secret in the academia. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. As a researcher, I must accept this result. However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure does make me feel somewhat conflicted. Can you head back to Prodigy first? We've been here for a while, and it's best not to make Kale and the rest worry. As for me, I want to stay with Tamimi for a bit longer. Just a bit.
FARUZAN head bangs low in silence. The desert breeds gales of wind. The only sound that can be heard is scattering rise of spreading grains. It makes me a bit sad. Like, wow. Like, I just don't know what to say to this. It's just like, wow. Out of like all the endings, this feels like this would be the most accurate ending to a Hangout event. Like, most Hangout events have that one ending that feels like if it was straightforward, I feel like the traveler would go this route. And I feel like this is like the best routed ending for FARUZAN's Hangout event.
Take it easy.
Seems like we're wrapping up the fourth ending here.
You're back!
How was your journey through the desert? Wait, where's Madame FARUZAN?
I mean, She didn't tell us to not tell them the truth. Would that affect the ending? I don't see the point. Did she specify that we were supposed to keep it a secret? I feel like we should tell them.
Oh no. She finally got to reunite with an old friend from 100 years ago. But
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. However, as a friend, a student, and a daughter, we should give her some time. Let's just wait for her here. And in the future, I hope that we can be here to support her as her new friends.
Right. Wait 1 day later. I'm not gonna lie, this in fact makes me want to summon for her that much more just to hear her voice lines. This hangout event has its ups and downs, but I feel like this hangout event has been, it's definitely up there as one of my favorite ones in a way of like how directional the whole thing has been with their endings. They did a really good job with FARUZAN's story.
What? Is there to be no welcoming party?
We've all been waiting for you, Madame FARUZAN.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape.
We both know, I'm almost certain that she probably used Tamimi's parts for this.
Why do you all look so solemn? Come now. Liveliness befits youngsters more.
Madame FARUZAN, did these parts come from...
Come now. I thought that you must have encountered some major problem. This isn't something you have to worry about. Well, it looks like you already know everything, but no need to feel bad. Like I said before, as researchers, we must learn to accept our failures. Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current abilities. Not even with these parts. It would thus be much better to use them to extend Karkata's lifespan. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me. That holds true for both researchers and machines. Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for Karkata temporarily. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to help me with my research. I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and replicated the creations of the ancient civilization.
All right. I'll do my best to help.
Me too. Although, I'm not sure if I'll be much help.
Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back then, there's no reason why we won't be able to do even better. And when that day comes, I'll be sure to say, welcome home, Tamimi.
You know what? This one right here probably gonna be a thumbnail. It has to be. That's probably my favorite ending. Wow. But let's see what the last one is. What direction does this bottom section have? Because obviously the bottom section has a different ending, but where? Never mind. Nope, nope, there it is. Oh, here. Oh, you telling me there was a different ending for not telling the whole truth? Bruh, let's hear this. Let's hear this.
So Madame FARUZAN has some other things to settle. Alright.
Madame FARUZAN will be able to repair Karkata when she gets back, won't she?
Currently, only FARUZAN I know about Tamimi. I should let FARUZAN decide whether to tell others about Tamimi. I mean, it's a respectful way of looking at it. I guess that's fair, right? I guess it's fair. I don't want to sound kind of like beat around the bush type of dealio. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I could have picked this one originally, but let's see what the type of ending it would have had. I did it out of like the careness of her and how much I care for her as a friend. That was why I said the truth, rather than saying it as something else.
I'm back. What? Is there to be no welcoming party?
Madame Faruzan, we're over here.
That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization? Unbelievable. Thankfully, it didn't end up in Raid's unscrupulous hands.
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened.
I told them about the
Is that
archaeology
so?
team.
Thank you. We will talk about everything else later.
Huh.
It's
Kilulu?
I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. They're going to be very busy. Too busy to bother us, I'd wager. I'll start repairing Karkata then. Kale, can you help me out?
Of course.
Oh.
It looks fine, but even so, it needs to properly rest up.
Faruzan went out after repairing Karkata. She seems to be looking for you for some reason. Well, I will not probe any further. However, if you need any help, do feel free to ask.
What is she gonna tell us? Is it because we didn't tell the whole truth?
Ah, you're here. Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret.
You know, I originally was thinking about picking that answer, but I picked the other one because I thought it would just be fair for them to know. You don't plan on telling them?
If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Karkata? Even if we could convince them to accept the components, they'll probably still feel bad about it. I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people.
This is the reason why I picked the first option was basically this. This basically sums up the way I felt towards them. You don't have to shoulder all this alone. Maybe you'll feel better if you share it with the rest.
It's fine. I'm used to this. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. Even their faces are getting hazier in my memories. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Tamimi handed to me and learning that they'd never given up on me. That's more than enough. I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Neither my teacher nor my mother would have wanted to see me like that. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now, aren't you? Oh, Pardius DI looks pretty scenic at night. Will you take a stroll with me?
Interesting.
Once Karkata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance to tell Tainari and Kale about all that.
So she's still planning to tell them anyways.
But for now, just help me keep this secret.
Interesting.
Thank you. Whether it's 100 years ago or now, I have people who worry about me. I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then.
Welcome home, Faruzan.
Yeah, I'm home.
You know what? Fine. This could be it. This fits too. Once she was adrift on the sea of time, she has found her home shore once again. Huh. What an ending to that. Well, thank you guys for watching this stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was just a little bit of hangout event. We have done it all. And even got FARUZAN specialty, because I forget Hangout events show that as well. Hajalakna cake. Interesting. So this was taste catered to the taste of Sumeru people found. I don't know. I tried to read it like that. Anyways, I guess that's it for that. I actually enjoyed that a lot. That was interesting. If I had to look back at again, which I probably do this a lot, looking back at passing out events, there were some that just felt eh. This one was eh. This one was kind of eh, kind of okay. The same with this one, but it's just like kind of eh, kind of okay. Now, Wells had probably some of the best, like, storytelling to it when it came to Hangout event. I really liked hers. The fact that I had an Act 2 makes me want it to have an Act 3. Like, let the next time make her an official night, please. And then Diana's was quirky, and it was like, I feel like it's such different than others. Tomo's I didn't really like that much. Sayu's I didn't like that much. Beto's I liked a lot. It was the story direction that started changing that I really liked. Goro's was a little bit eh. It was enjoyable though. Yunjin's I really enjoyed it. Even though it was... I really enjoyed it for what it was. Ningguang's I didn't really like that much. It was a different take, I guess. Cookies I liked a lot. Hazel's was okay. For what it's worth, it was okay. But FARUZAN's definitely up there. I actually didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I did. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. That was really a surprising delight for me. Never would have expected such a thing. But yeah, that is it. We have finished everything that I want to do. At this point, nothing really else for me to look towards. We've gotten through this Friday stream decently well. 4:30. Still haven't eaten yet. Gonna have to go do that. I'm gonna have to change the thumbnail momentarily after this end of this stream, and I will be uploading my recorded playthrough later in the day, probably like 2 hours from now. It will go up. So yeah, have that going up. Next time I stream, is there anything else during this patch I'm excited for? Since for whatever reason they like the devs like to put out content earlier in the patch, I can't guarantee the next time I'm gonna stream is gonna be. Like, we're probably like what? We're getting like under 2 more weeks till the next half, and I'm still depressed that I didn't. I'm still depressed I didn't get this claim. I can't help it. It makes me still want to go full send on it. Just because, who knows, I could get an early 5-star and try for it. I've lost hope. I've lost hope. Because this weapon is probably as much wanted as I did what the Staff of Homo. That's how much I wanted it. And I just don't know what to do, man. I'm not willing to spend money to get it. I wish Dia was a limited character so I didn't feel like such a good weapon is just going to go get shelter for the rest of time. Then they're going to have to make up for it with a crit damage claymore. A better one. But they're probably going to come up with another crit rate claymore. Which, don't know when that's going to be. Because they don't release claymore characters that often. And that's something I really hate about, this and, of course, Tanara's weapon. They're both standard characters and they haven't came back on the weapon banner. People can use the excuse that it just hasn't been their time for their weapon to appear there yet. But I'm almost certain of it. If it doesn't appear at all this year, that theory is thrown out the window and the devs have no intention of putting it back. If they put it on a random banner because the 5-star itself doesn't have a signature weapon, or for some case being that they just want either better sales or something for people to lose to that isn't as good as the main weapon that is too good. But the take kind of gets thrown out the window when, you know, a weapon banner like this exists. There's literally two 5-star weapons with crit rate on it. And it still sucks that a part of me still wants to summon for that fucking Claymore, because I want it so bad. If I had decided to chart my course, I could have at least had a reason to completely dump the rest of my primos, but I just can't bring myself to do it. It's something I hate, because I know one day I'm going to be super depressed by this, not having it. There's not that many things throughout this patch that I can think of that I'm going to want to stream. So this might be the second to last, or I should say third to last stream of the patch for all I know. I know I'm going to have a special video going up tomorrow, so I'm going to have more of that prepared. So that's something I'm going to be doing. I would say good luck to the wishes of the character that you wanted or the weapon that you wanted. I hope you got what you want. Some people like me, they didn't get what they wanted. I hope you're willing to either overlook this, or if you're willing to spend money, don't spend too much. It's just not worth it. I know that this weapon, for the character I have, this or a crit damage claimer with a passive similar to this, the first part of it anyways, is more or less the only thing I'm looking for on my D-Luke. That would be an upgrade. I have too much attack, and because of that, a weapon like this would actually give me more of an edge because of the damage bonus I get from my teammates. And the only other claimer that would make a big difference is a crit damage one that actually has like, what, 66 crit damage. We haven't gotten a claimer like that yet, so maybe one day they'll make up for this weapon not being here anymore, and it could just be me spitballing here. But I am pretty much hoping that there's going to be a Hydro Claymore in Fontaine that has a crit damage Claymore. But I'm just saying this in all hope that I can improve my D-Luke without having to feel inclined that I don't have a chance to improve him in the future. Because I'm certain this weapon's not going to come back. I still don't think it's going to. This is a weapon that should be going on the standard banner weapon list. If it's not, then that means the devs plan on rerunning it. But if the devs don't ever rerun it, it's something to consider that these will not come back. These will be considered the rarest things to see in this game. And it does kind of hurt me as someone that wants to main Claymore characters to an extent. I do love playing Claymore characters. I will always enjoy Claymore characters as much as Polearm, which is my second favorite weapon type. It's pretty funny, actually. It's my second favorite weapon type on the banner, and it just kept giving me polearms. This is a polearm I wanted, though. I knew 2 characters, possibly 3 I would use it on. But there's one that I would use it on, and one that I could honestly do a different build and not have to worry about it right now. But now that I have 2 of these polearms, now, if I get Jade Spear, I'm not going to want it as much because it's not going to be that good. Because the passive on this weapon is just that strong. Which makes Jade Spear kind of less wanted. So it's going to make me sad if I ever do get that one day now. But it's not the end of the world, you know. I feel like there'll be other chances for another probably crit rate polearm that will probably be, you know, better base attack, high crit rate, higher than Jade Spear, but lower than Scarlet Sands. That will have a better passive that makes it stronger than Scarlet Sands, but that's not going to be easy, given how much Elemental Mastery is to characters. But I really do hope they give another Claymore character a chance in the future to at least shine to some degree, like Ito, and have a weapon that doesn't just cater to that character only, so that some characters that haven't shined that much can shine brighter, and people consider trying to build this character if they even feel slightly interested, despite it being some characters that people consider outdated or not good damage-wise, because most of the time people build characters wrong. But I think I spouted enough nonsense. This is just because there's a good chance I'm not going to stream again this patch. I don't know what else is gonna happen this patch that I want to stream. There's like so many other events, but some of them I don't even feel like streaming. Like the only other one that felt interesting was like the Theater Mechanicus with Fungi. But other than that, which I might stream it, I might. But other than that, I don't know I'm gonna stream again. So I wish I had that Claymore. What the Claymore lineup I even have? Because I don't use that many Claymore characters. Yeah. Use this guy the longest. I have 2 gravestones, so I don't know I'm going to use one. Playing physical Razor feels absolutely horrible compared to Hyperbloom Razor. Which is pretty fun, so I'm going to keep him like this. I have a second gravestone. Even though I've seen people use Reed Seed on her, if you want to use that main DPS, Reed Seed is better than Gravestone. Gravestone is better support-wise. I don't care what you say. Or, I guess God damn it, Favonius Greatsword. I still plan on, I say probably with like the lightest intention of whether I will play her or not, but if I end up getting tired of waiting for Ito's rerun and want something really new to farm for, it's really just the husk set. So I could use that excuse to actually work on Noelle. Chungyun is a character I want to work on, but I need emblem sets. I need more emblem pieces before I even think about it. Because there's a build. When I play with him on that, it looked pretty fun. He's probably the only other Claymore character I'd be willing to play to an extent the way I play D-Luke, though. He's the only other Claymore I'd be willing to play like that. And he's C6, and I haven't used him for a long time. It makes me laugh sometimes thinking about it. Sad seeing Sayu down here, but I'll probably make an excuse to Razor one day, just because I'm probably going to skip so many patches of characters that, yeah. Kabi going to be, people have rumored Kabi going to be a Claymore, and some that made a lot of sense, because there's always that one duo in a region that has a Claymore and a sword buddy. Alhaitham's a sword buddy, and Alhaitham has a roommate named Kaveh, and he's gonna be a Claymore, just like how Kaya and D-Luke are a sword brother, being a sword Kaya and a Claymore D-Luke. And it's kind of weird with the Inazuma one being Ito and God damn it, I forgot. My brain just doesn't want to cooperate with me right now. Cookie Shinobu. Cookie and Ito from Inazuma. Monster had Kaya and D-Luke. Leeway has Shincho and Chungyun. So Sumeru is going to have Kaveh and Alhaitham. It's just kind of funny when people mention that. I can't unsee it. It makes a lot of sense. But yeah. One day in the future, I'm definitely going to play Chungyun Kaya. I'm going to go back to Emblem Domain. It's going to be a little bit before I go there. Right now, the game wants me to play Polearm Impact. I don't know how to feel about it, though. It's not that I want to build her. I saw a really cool healing build with Dory, but no one really uses that. And I can't stand physical DPS in this game, which has made me realize something. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stand by it. A part of me said I'd wait till Natlin before I C6 Bennett, but the urge is getting stronger every waking moment to do it.
Where did that come from?
Until I think about a certain scenario that I hate to mention, but it might screw me over if I do comms, because I'll have to be forced to use D-Luke a certain way. Because D-Luke applies so much power, which is why I don't like Bennett C6 with him, because normal text will be vaping is cool, but I'd rather his skill vape than his normal text, unless I really want to do some extra. I don't know. It's just times where I feel like D-Luke would apply too much power, or he applies too much. I don't know. It makes me wonder, though. I think it's fine. But it's such for Polearm Impact that most Polearms don't interest me enough, and there's other Polearms I don't have yet that would not be able to take the Polearm, the Staff of Scarlet Sands. The only character I can use it is her, and I have Rosaria. I could make an excuse to run it on her, but it's just not really worth it. 'Cause I'm not gonna use the main DPS. Toma Burgeon. Maybe one day I'll do it, but I might end up doing Retro Burgeon before any of that ever happens for D-Link. And I do want to raise her one day. But one day. And that's the problem. I don't know when. So, for what it's worth, I still don't know how to feel about getting this Claymore, but I did want this on her, almost specifically speaking. Just to make an excuse to give Catch to someone else, but now I don't know what to do with Catch. It's just on somebody. So at this point, it could be for someone who wants to do more with it, I guess. I did make an excuse that I just remembered. I actually need to raise this. Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. Of course it is. God damn it. I might finish out this to do testing on it. Because I have such a good build on my Hutao that I need to test this weapon on it. Because it might just give me a different result than what this weapon gives. But the first time I actually want to raise a Blackcliff to max. So it just made me remember that. And I don't know if I'm ever going to raise this unless I feel inclined to. That's why I keep a second one that's just not raised, just like the Claymore character is. Has a second gravestone, which I can't wait to talk about the reasoning behind many things tomorrow with certain things. This weapon might still see use in the future. The chances of this getting use depends on how my summons with Ito goes in the future. Because it's between Ito and Alhaitham. Those are the only two characters that are on my wish list at the highest moment. Other than those two, I don't have anyone that I want as highly as those two at the moment. Because now I'm at the point I'm closing in on Ito, and I'm not going to have myself waiting longer than usual. Also, I got this claimant from the event. I forgot to actually show this. This weapon is probably Diluc's best weapon from a 4-star. Not really the best, but I'd say the second best. Being either slightly beaten by a higher refinement of this weapon, or being slightly worse. It depends. I think it gives attack, so it might honestly be better than the range slasher at R5, which makes me interested in it. Because it might just be better for even the Diluc build that I could run with this weapon, which makes me laugh actually. I've literally done testing before that range slasher. No matter what, in reactions, it always does more damage than my Wolf's Gravestone. So it makes me wonder about that weapon that that's been going around the Beacon of the Reed Sea that I literally just showed. Makes me wonder. Never got R5 of this. Maybe one day. But yeah, I think I've talked long enough. I said my piece. In case that I do not, stream again for like a long time in this patch, or probably not going to stream until after I see the dev stream, preparing for patch, was it 3.6? Yeah, 3.6, because it's 3.5. I keep forgetting. It's weird to say that I can't say every 8 patches, but I guess it has been 8 patches now since the last year of me playing Genshin Impact. And tomorrow is going to be the 1 year, so I hope, if anyone even sees this stream or not, goes and does me a favor to go see the video when that goes up tomorrow, as I upload that for the YouTube. My second year me documenting myself on this game, and I'm going to continue to do it, because I don't think I'm going to stop playing this game until the main story finishes. Because the story, at least for the most part, interests me enough to keep playing. But yeah, I think I've said enough. Ooh. Gave me 20 primos for that. Coolio. Nothing else. No one of the friends. I mean, there's people here. I wonder if they did FARUZAN Hangout. A lot of people don't do Hangout events, which is hilarious. I don't even think they're that bad. Some of them are just like, don't interest me enough. Not because of the character, but just the story baseline itself doesn't interest me enough. it just like it falls short halfway through sometimes. Some of them are interesting enough, like Goro's Hangout event, which I don't find that great, but it wasn't bad. It was something that kept me wanting to, finish it to the very end for the excuse of it keeps me interested. I feel like a Hangout event should at least do that bare minimum, because if it doesn't do that, then it's not going to be the same for every person at the same time, though. But yeah, I said enough. Did I do the thing I need to do? Yeah, I did. Wonder if I will get any new pieces moving forward for artifacts. I've already gotten so many things, and today sadly I didn't get anything that could have stand out as good. But I mean, at least we got that one flower here for her. I'd say that's a win in my book. That piece, having high crit rate with an EM, which this piece by itself has a lot of value for this character specifically speaking. Because the HP is nice, the EM is nice, and Yaya is looking pretty good if I want to do HP build. But the problem is I wish I had energy recharge on every artifact, so I don't know what to do with her exactly. Because it's not like the best teams I've seen her play with Candace and her with Bloom Neela, and I can't do that, so I don't know what to think. Oh, I forgot about this. I think I wanted a Favonius polearm again, which I need very badly. But I think I said enough. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I don't know next time I'll be streaming this game again. But until I hit a turning point in my recorded playthrough, I'm not streaming other games. So it might be another month or so till I get to that point. Because yes, I can't say I'm a month ahead, but I am over 3 weeks ahead. I'm going to be a month ahead very soon in the recording of things compared to where the current episode is at. It's going on, which I don't know if people even watch the playthrough other than someone I know, which makes me always wonder if I had uploaded sooner, would people have been interested in it or not? Because there was a period where everything just died down because I didn't upload anything as often, which makes me a bit sad now. I never checked that, but I think I'll do that later. There's another character I need to go back to as well. Oh yeah, level 90 Venti, and I never actually finished him out. Thinking about doing that next week, actually. I still don't know if I want to do that now, though. I'm so confused what direction I want to go. Probably next week I'm just gonna Crown Hotel, but these are things I'm probably gonna do off stream, so maybe I'll talk about it when I get to that. What will be weird is that I think once I max out her friendship, I wonder if there'll be anything worth showing, like me getting her name card or showing it off at another time or something, instead of just having a exclamation point over her, which is annoying, by the way. Maybe I can make an excuse to stream again. I might do it. I don't know. Oh, right. It's just that I'm still more interested in bringing her to 9, 10, 10, because I don't feel like crowning her burst. She could be triple crown, but I don't like her as much as I do Yoimiya, but in playstyle I like her a lot more than Yoimiya. So, that's because of Seed 1 though. But, thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys when I catch you guys later.